rituals laid out in the scriptures, succession to the Imperial throne has begun. The royal heirs shall select their champions through the ancient trials of fire and blood. Sworn upholders of the faith, warriors without fear. These champions shall decide who will ascend the throne. All shall witness the power of God's chosen. And to those who dare threaten holy Amarr, it shall be known, retribution will be righteous.
Just a little bit. Greetings, New Eden. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome the CCP Twitch stream audience, as well as the assembled horde before me here in the auditorium at the Harpa for EVE Fanfest 2016 to the Amarr Championships. It requires some amount of wardrobe. And I think that's appropriate. It is terrifying to stand here on this stage in front of this audience at an event of this magnitude alone. And so in order to ease the process of me calming down, I'm going to invite out some very special guests, the player commentators and one special dev commentator who will assist in presenting this awesome event to you and to the viewers watching via Twitch. Of course, no tournament of this magnitude would be complete without a face that you all know very well, CCP Fozzy.
Thanks, Edward.
Thank you for being with us, Fozzy. Now, we couldn't handle this by ourselves, and FanFest is, after all, about the fans. So joining us up here at the host desk for the first match of the evening, we have Apophany.
I love you, man.
He loves you, man.
I love you too, whoever you are.
Gentlemen, your seats, please. Now, from this desk, we don't have quite the vantage point available to someone with a monitor in front of them. We will have two player commentators providing a little bit of information, a little bit of color, a little bit of charm throughout the proceedings. Our first, Sutonia. Thank you, Sutonia. How you doing?
I'm good. Pretty happy to be here. It's going to be amazing.
Now, he's not going to be alone over there. There is one empty chair, and I think it's only fitting that we fill it with a personality of suitable gravitas. No?
Oh, yeah.
Elise?
Hi.
And would any tournament be complete without the pen? No. No is the answer. Before we get started with the action tonight, before we bring on our teams, before we proceed to the contest that will determine the heir of the Amarr Empire, we have some small announcement to make regarding proceedings here at FanFest in 2016, that being the announcement of the winners of the cosplay contest, which has been going on at Fanfest. And I have those results here, somewhere. Perhaps. Nope. I have those results right here. First, we're going to start with the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions, people who did an amazing job of providing some amount of cosplay entertainment to the judges and to the crowds. Makoto Priano. We should have just gone all three and then the clapping. Now it's going to seem harsh. Clap again. Stop.
Not yet!
Everyone be careful what you say. They're a lovely crowd. They're new at this.
They're eager.
If you see me doing this, it means we have 10 seconds. Another honorable mention, Cokester. Sorry, just a second, I have a problem with my Spotify. That's good. And another honorable mention, Mitara Noel. All three of those honorable mentions will receive six plex each. And an excellent, but not quite as stunning prize as what is being offered to our third, second, and first place contestants. We'll go through them now. The third place contestant taking home 6 plex, a ticket to Fanfest 2017, a Razer headset, a single signed Chronicles artwork piece, a character appearance in a Chronicle due out in 2016. Wow, that's quite impressive, actually.
That's pretty cool, wow.
Sorry, I didn't even dress up. I didn't know. The third place winner, Gambi Raffo. The second prize, 12 plex, 1 ticket to Fanfest 2017, a Razer keyboard and mouse, 2 signed Chronicle artworks, a signed EVE University hardcover, and again, a character appearance in a Chronicle to be released in 2016. And that second prize goes to Max Singularity, the 6th, first of his name. And in first place, an ironic victory, the first prize, 24 plex, an NVIDIA GTX 970, 2 tickets to Fanfest 2017, a Razer package including a headset, a keyboard, and a mouse, 3 signed pieces of Chronicle artwork, 1 signed copy of EVE Source, a limited edition, beautiful, beautiful volume, and a Chronicle appearance to be released sometime in 2016. That first prize going to someone who promised to defend Max Singularity, the 6th, first of his name, Sancta Basilica. She gloriously defended him from the burden of a GTX 970. Let's move on. A big round of applause, one more, for everyone that participated in the costume contest. Feddo was robbed. Gentlemen, we stand at the finale of what has been a tremendous journey that began, it began last fall, in 2015, in October, I suppose, or even before that, when you started drafting up some early visions, and Falcon and Logibro got together. A lot of matches, a lot of amazing combat that took place in November during the first stages of the Amarr Championships. I don't know if we have time here really to present the full grandeur of those events. Can you just give me a few thoughts, present to the audience here, what you thought about what went on, what was crucial, what was amazing?
It was amazing to watch how these teams responded to rule sets changing on the fly. For both of the first 2 rounds, they found out about rules only a couple days ahead of time. For the finals, they found out about the rules like immediately before they had to start fitting, and only had 2 hours to do so. So being able to react quickly, it's incredible watching what these guys have been able to do. The journey that they've each taken has been very different. Kellen Darklight's team seemed very dominant kind of all throughout. Lyce's team looked like they were in deep trouble at the beginning of the tournament, but then came back with a vengeance. They're the Cinderella story here. They have done amazing things. I would not have ever dreamed when I saw them halfway through the first rounds that they would make it this far, but they did. They came back and they got all the way here. And now they're like, both these teams are just a stone's throw away from 4 gold magnates and choosing the next emperor or empress of the Amarr.
Now, it's interesting you mentioned the lore there, Apothny.
Oh dear.
You know nothing about the lore. He doesn't. That's not true.
I can leave. Like we can get Falcon up here.
We got you bought this replacement skinny non-t-shirt. We got to keep you here. What?
Okay.
What stood out to you in the first stages of the tournament?
I mean, for me, I think it was a lot of the upsets that were really surprising. I mean, you've got people like Chesser, who proved to be a lower tier pilot, losing out fairly early in the tournament. My fellow player commentators, Elise and Suetonia, also dropping out of the tournament. I mean, you know, I joke, but all of these guys are really fantastic pilots. The competitiveness and the meta thinking, the theory crafting, the piloting has all been so fantastic. It's been a joy to watch from the sidelines.
They've certainly represented their houses well. It's been amazing to watch. And if we have time later, we will have Falcon up on stage talking a little bit about the storylines that led into this. Just briefly, can we get a small primer on what's happening right now in Amarr space, Fozzie?
So this whole tournament is to choose who the next leader of the Amarr Empire is. The last empress, Jamel Sarum, she perished at the hands of the drifters. They have since attacked the empire and then actually retreated. And at the moment, things are in a bit of a calm. But we need to see who the next leader is going to be. And this whole process was used to determine, of all the royal houses, which one would come through and provide the next emperor or empress.
All right. Well, if we're going to decide who the next emperor or empress is, we need to introduce our teams. And I think there's
our honorable, glorious champions.
I think there's no time like the present. First, Team Tash-Murkon.
My name is Kellen Darklight, and I fight for Eve University. My favorite ship is the Kor-Azor, and I use genuine Imperial Navy multi-frequency. And the air I fight for is Kor-Azor and Tash-Murkon.
Hi, my name is Maxine Antilles from Rise Alliance, and my favorite ship is the Curse, and I really like destroying Gallente ships. I fight for Tash-Murkon.
Hi, my name is Lucian from Pandemic Legion. My favorite ship is the Confessor, and I use General Imperial Navy multi-frequency crystals, and I fight for Tash-Murkon.
Hi, my name is Willa QC. I fly with Exodus. My favorite ship is the Oracle, and Black Rice is the best region, and I fly for the Tash-Murkon family.
Gentlemen, you can go ahead and take your seats, I believe.
Yeah, yep. Go at it. There's a slight...
Good job. No.
There we go. Light them up! Of course, they can't fight the tournament alone. They need some sort of opponent. And up against Team Tash-Murkon here at the Amarr Championships, Team Kor-Azor.
Hi, I'm Lysis from Hard Knocks. My favorite ship is a Procurer. My favorite wormhole is a black hole, and I fight for Kor-Azor.
Hi, my name is Hoodie Mafia, and I fly for the Tuskers. My favorite Amarr ship is the Absolution, and I have not yet died on the EC Tech Gate. I fight for Kor-Azor.
Hi, my name is Sarek Miniatov. I fly with Shadow Cartel. My favorite Amarr ship is the Imperial Navy Slicer, and I enjoy slaying sleepers in my spare time. I fight for Kor-Azor.
Hello, my name is Amarr. I fly for the Amarr Empire. My favorite ship is the Guardian, and I most like the Wormhole region. I fight for Kor-Azor.
Very good.
Two tremendous teams that have proven themselves in combat time and again, ready to do battle here to determine the fate of the Amarr Empire and the future of lore in EVE Online. And they're going to do it right in front of all of you. Let's give them one more big round of applause for the team. Get them amped up.
So these two teams are now selecting which of their setups they want to take into the first match. Just a quick primer on the rules.
Let's do that, because I don't know if everyone at home is familiar with the rule set,
so
and I'm not sure
we posted the rule set just actually a couple days ago, and it was made clear to these teams only immediately before they had to choose all of their ships and their fits. The actual competition here is going to be a best of 5 conquest format series, which means that if you win with one of your setups, they have 5 setups available, you cannot bring a winning setup back to another match. But if you lose with a setup, you can keep bringing it back until you win with it. That means that to win, you have to win with at least 3 different setups out of your 5. To get to these 5 setups, these teams had to go through what is easily the most difficult theory crafting challenge we have ever given any players in EVE's history. We sat them down inside of CCP's offices, told them the rules, which were that they had to take a list of 47 Amarrian ships, most of the Amarrian subcaps, Tech 1, Tech 2, and Tech 3, and create setups out of them, 4-person setups, create 11 setups using 44 of the ships, and they only had 2 hours to do so. Once they had all that done, they would then get 6 of their setups banned by the other team. Basically, the end result is you have to be working with the weakest of your setups using all of the whole Amarrian lineup. You have to understand all Amarrian ships really well. You have to be able to work with ships that you may not normally be used to working with. And 2 hours to fit 44 ships and put them into 11 setups is incredibly tight. This was a huge high-pressure situation, and both teams did really well. So it's going to be amazing to see what they do with these setups now that they've put them together.
Now, no tournament commentary would be complete without a little bit of speculation on behalf of those seated at the desk. So if I could start, Apothony, of course known for writing, commentating, attending all kinds of tournament events, both run by CCP and run by EVE-NT.
Hi, Nash.
Hi, Nash. Who do you pick for the first match?
I've known Kellen Darklight for a very long time. We were back in EVE Uni together, so I have to go with him.
That's one KD.
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to predict that for this match, at least, I'm going to go with Lysis, Team Kor-Azor.
And I, of course, think that no matter who comes out victorious, we're all winners here at the Amarr Championships. To get a little bit more idea of what we're dealing with, we're going to go to the boys in the booth? The boys down below. That doesn't work. We're going to go to the commentators, Sitonia and Elise Randolph, for a little chatter. Gentlemen?
All right. Hey. How you guys doing? Are you guys stoked? All right, so we're just waiting for the teams to get in position here. Unless we totally screwed up, which is totally
Nope, you're in exactly the right place. They'll be coming in soon. At the moment, the teams again are just making sure they've got all the ammo they need. Commentators, did any of you guys have a chance to look through the setups that were posted by the 2 teams?
Yeah, the setups are quite interesting. So, Tony, tell us.
This challenge in particular is Team Lysis has a very interesting take on it. Because it's Conquest, you only have to win 3 matches because it's a best out of 5 format. And since you have to use almost all of the Amarr subcaps, it's very hard to get 5 strong setups. So what they've done is they have 2 setups that have 4 frigates in them, like Anathema, Purifier, Magnate, which is probably not going to win many games. But the end result is they've got three team comps that are very, very strong. Now, Kellon Darklight's team, on the other hand, for Tash-Murkon, they've got 5 more well-rounded setups. Yeah. So they have a lot more options. So the consequences of Lysis doing this is maybe their free setups are a bit stronger individually, but as they start to win games, because Kellon Darklight's team will have much more variety in the setups that they can pick, they can choose the best setup that they have to counter that.
Yeah. So would you say that, what is the better strategy going in? Like, would you like to lead with some weak teams to make the opponent, if you're on the Kor-Azor side, do you want to lead with the weak to make your opponent bleed some good setups, or do you just want to try and get that first match real quick?
I think you always have to bring a good setup in.
All right. So, I mean, the Conquest format, if you guys aren't familiar with it, it's different from the Alliance tournament. When you win with the setup, you can't bring it again. But if you lose with the setup, you can bring it again. So some strategy we've seen in the Collides tournament from last year and in the EVNT Collides format. Some strategies, especially for the Kor-Azor pilots, they've been known to feed a few matches here and there. So that seems to be what their strategy is going through the Amarr Championships as well.
I'm so sorry if you bet on EVBet, by the way.
Yeah, we do not condone, nor that's Antiquarian's line. I'm not going to steal it. So what are you excited to see? What besides ship explosions? What are you excited for?
I'm really excited to see a composition on the side of Kellon Darklight, which has a Devoter, a Zealot, a Slicer, and an Oracle, because there's a lot of damage and a lot of control with the potentially 4 scrams if you sacrifice the DPS on the heavy interdictor.
Yeah, absolutely. We have no idea how these ships are fit. I was talking to a few of the captains, and they seem to be very stressed out because they get about, on averaging, 3 minutes to fit a ship. And when you do that, it's basically a massive disaster. I've tried to fit a ship with 2 minutes, I think they gave me, and I forgot to put guns on, and I also forgot ammo, and my low slots were the wrong size, which, I mean, I still almost won, but I could not imagine doing that 44 times. That would probably make me go crazy. Luckily, I think they were locked in there with a case of beer, too, so, I mean, maybe that helped. I don't know. Maybe they smuggled their own in. But yeah, the pilots seem to be, or the captain seemed to be stressing quite a lot, as one would expect. But now, look, they're all composed and in a zone. I mean, they kind of look to be in the zone. I mean, Lysis is definitely in the zone.
I'm really curious, personally. Who do you guys out in the crowd want to be the next Emperor or Empress? So,
it's not the way we do it. It's first we say one name, and then you cheer, and then we do another one, and then you cheer, and then we act like we gauged how loud you were.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off alphabetically.
Sure.
Kor-Azor. Do we do it again if it's like that?
Let's give one more try.
Kor-Azor.
That's a little bit better, yeah.
Okay. And Tash-Murkon.
Okay, Kor-Azor won that.
It seems like Kor-Azor had some very strong voices, a lot of clapping.
Very clear, I think.
They were more in tune, I think.
Did you gauge that? What do you? Wait. Our guys are getting ready right now. There's a bit of chatter. It's very tense up here.
Of course, this is a format on the stage at Fanfest with the Conquest format 5v5 that we have used once before at Fanfest last year with Worlds Collide. If any of you guys were here last year or watching the stream, you'll remember it. A really amazing event where we got to pit the best team from Tranquility, from our worldwide EVE server, who had won the Alliance tournament. We brought them in, or it wasn't the Norwegian Open for that one. It was they won a tournament, and we brought them up against the top PvP team from Serenity, our Chinese server. And for the first time ever had a real competition between the two. It was great. We got to bring up the teams from both sides, fly them to Iceland, The Chinese team got to meet the president of Iceland, and I think had a really great time. They kind of welcomed them as like diplomatic guests. And we had a really great competition as well. What did you think of that event, Apothny? I know you were...
the whole tank.
I was at home watching on the stream, but it was really interesting to watch to see the best of both servers collide. I mean, obviously we won, but it was just a really cool. It was a really new setup for us because obviously before then we were really used to the Alliance tournament. You know, the 12v12, lots more ships, lots more potential setups. But the 5v5 really drills down the team design to the core when you really only have 1 or 2 holes for every single roll rather than the 12 and having redundancy. Every ship loss is so much more important. And this has gone even further in the Amarr Championships where we're down to a 4v4 format.
Yeah, this is really incredible. And seeing that format where you have to have the very small team, something I know you guys have used for some of the player-run tournaments recently, with NT Collides, with the Fight Club, and it's been really amazing to see what players have been doing with tournaments. For years, players have been running their own tournaments, doing really great streams, events, and I'm really always in awe watching what you guys can put together.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be possible without the support we get from CCP, but EVE-NT has been just such an amazing roller coaster, going from the pre-season we did with just really early games, which Tuskers dominated, and they kind of really set the meta for a lot of the setups. But now we've gone into full leagues and we're expanding, and I know that Nash has lots of cool, exciting things to discuss a bit later on, which I won't spoiler. But
we'll be having him up on the stage for an interview.
Yes. I'm not sure if he's going to be up here tonight or not. If you're authorized to comment on EVE-NT, please feel free to do so. I don't know.
I'll leave it to Nash. He loves the spotlight.
Okay, or you can leave it to non-Nash.
I know I'm in it at the moment, but
that's fine.
Never mind.
That's fine. I'm actually looking forward to the new EVE-NT season. I think it's moving to is it 8-week schedule or
Nash?
Nash? Are you here?
Nash?
He's not. That's fine.
He's not here. He was like the Amarr Championships. Come on, I run a real event. That's rough. This is great. We're all excited, and
so the two teams have arrived on the field now. They're just getting everything set up, setting up their overviews. This is the first time the teams, actually they have been out a little bit before, but they're getting a good look at the other team, getting to make sure everything's set up correctly with their UI. Our commentators are setting up their overviews, and so we're just, I think, a few moments away from starting off. And yeah, I'm really excited to see. I've seen a little bit of what these two teams feel because we have the view here from behind. Now both teams have seen each other as well.
I wish I brought my glasses.
All right, I think we've got the teams on the field, and I think now we can go direct to the commentators for actual commentary on what's happening on field now, pre-match discussion. Elise, Suetonia, take it away.
All right, guys, I'm Elise Randolph, and I will be introducing the Tash-Murkon team, and this is going to be pretty interesting. We've got Lucian in an APOC, Keelan Darklight, the captain and champion and executioner, Wasp QC in a Purifier, and Maxine Antilles in a Curse. A really strong setup, it looks like.
And for Team Kor-Azor, we have Honorius in a Legion, Hoodie Mafia in a Pilgrim, Lysis in a Pontifex, and Sarek Miniator in a Heretic.
Oh, so what do you think about these two setups? Are these the setups that you're kind of hoping for to see early on, or what do you expect?
So the APOC here is going to be pretty good at killing these light ships, although there is a Pilgrim on the other side, which can have unscripted tracking disruptors.
Indeed, the Pilgrim is very nice. Okay, so the APOC warped in at 0. Everyone else is sort of at an acute angle. The match is going to start in 15 seconds here. It'll be interesting to see what the subcap, the little support and tackle wing will do. Let's see if we'll see Keelan Darklight just run straight over and try and pin down a linchpin.
Well, Keelan Darklight is known to kill Garmers in his Executioner, so...
Yep, he is a savage. All right, here we go, it's going. And, all right, so let's see. Keelan Darklight is sort of moving behind the enemy team, the Kor-Azor team, and trying not to get shot. Meanwhile, it looks like Lucian's APOC is doing a little bit of damage. All right, First Blood, Wasa QC, taking a little bit of shield damage, nothing too important here. All right, now that's a little bit more than a little bit of shield damage. He's in half armor. The Purifier does a lot of damage on this setup, if it can apply. And it's repping a little bit. All right, it's doing okay.
There are some light maintenance bots on him, but I'm not sure how long they can keep him up.
Yeah, he is trying really hard to get transversal. I can hear the team saying, overheat your afterburner, overheat your afterburner. So, I mean...
Ooh, dipping into structure now. It's going to be really hard for him to survive against this anti-support heretic, which I assume has got a lot of light missiles.
All right, it looks like Keelan has gone for this heretic. He is now holding him down. He was just kind of hoping for the heretic to start shooting the purifier. Let's see if Keelan Darklight... Oh, he's running away again. He did not want any of that. And it looks like...
Stiffing into low structure now. The heretic is going into half armor. It'll be interesting to see who's going to die here first, because Kellen is kind of pulling back a bit more.
So what do you, if this heretic, oh, there we go, Kellen Darklight, the captain goes down. That is a huge, huge thing. He is tackled. Let's see what can, and
heretic down. Okay, so they lost an executioner, but they traded for a heretic.
Yeah.
So who do you think lost the most important ship in this case? Because the APOC and the Purifier DPS is going to be a lot harder to apply without Kellon tackling things down.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the heretic is a really great ship. It spews missiles really, really well. We're not, of course, sure on the fit, but we imagine it'd be pretty good. And it always applies. It's got this huge engagement envelope, so it can like run away around the arena. It won't go outside, obviously, because he's smart and good, unlike some people here. And I don't know, but you're totally right. Like now, all of the Tash team, they have to somehow get tackled to apply damage, and Lucian is taking damage. The APOC doing a lot of the DPS on the field for the Tash-Murkon team. He's just slowly taking some damage. Meanwhile, the Kor-Azor Legion, he's just chugging along.
Yeah, he's kind of chilling, not really taking too much damage right now.
There is a swarm of late maintenance bots all around the Legion for Kor-Azor. And let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's some drone explosion. So if you're seeing a little bit of damage being slow to apply, that's because these teams are shooting a little bit of the drones here to reduce the amount of repping potential. Legion is now sitting right on top of Lucian's APOC.
Yeah, he's kind of caught in the middle between Hoodie Mafia's Pilgrim and the Legion of Anarius. So he is caught there. He's going, and they're going to be able to get onto his guns too, I believe.
Yeah, but I do see, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Sutonia, Hoodie is actually using tracking disruptors on this Lucian's APOC. So when this Legion's right up close, and these guys are not going to be able to apply any damage. And okay, now they're just taking away YC118's Purifier because they're like, wow, this guy's really annoying. Let's just get rid of him.
Yeah, splitting damage like this is normally not a good thing, but when it's with rep drones, it can actually be a really good way to make people panic. And he's dipping into low structure now. I don't think YC118 is going to be long in this arena, and he's gone.
Woo, there we go. All right, so it looks like the boys from Kor-Azor are doing it. They're in a really commanding position right now. They've got a Legion who's kind of tanking perfectly fine. And let's see, what weapon system does this Legion have? Can we see? Do we see? Yeah, these are missiles coming out of this Legion. So the curse that is potentially neuting him is not going to have any effect. He's going to still be able to use all of his damage. Meanwhile, Lucian, it looks like he's totally capped out now. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can hit. He just has to sit there and take a pounding, which not really a good thing to do when you're an APOC.
It's also worth, I think, pointing out with Lysis' Pontifex on the field, they are going to have potentially a gang link.
Yeah. So is this good? Like, obviously winning is a good thing, as you mentioned before. But
it generally is good.
But now, assuming this result or this stands, Kor-Azor won't be able to take this comp again.
No, so Kor-Azor had 3 really strong comps and they have 2 really bad comps. So if they win with this comp, they can't bring this comp again.
Yeah, so is that like a detriment or?
It's kind of an advantage for Kellon's team because they have 5 solid setups, and that reduces the sort of, they can only choose 2 setups basically.
Okay, as I was just derping around, Hoodie Mafia is now like slowly dying, or actually quickly dying. In his Pilgrim, I don't know what was going down. I was like caught in Sutonia's dreamy eyes. But it looks like maybe, no, the damage is not abated at all. He is still going down. And it's going to be a DPS race between Lucian's APOC and Hoodie Mafia's Pilgrim goes down. What in the world has happened? Oh, your dreamy eyes. God damn it. Now Lysis is getting attacked. It looks like Lucian has some damage here. I guess Maxine is just, these T1 drones, he's using hammerheads, but they're going crazy.
Lucian's kind of pulling back here. I mean, he's slowly bleeding structure. I wonder how much he can do before he goes down. I don't think he can track this Pontifex, but now the TDs are off, so he might be able to track the Legion now.
Yeah, this is absolutely right. The Legion, however, he's holding strong. Okay. We made a big deal out of nothing. It's fine, guys, it's fine. Lucian's about to die, and I'm guessing, okay, come on, just die. Really? Okay, there we go.
Okay, he's dead.
All right, congratulations to Kor-Azor. They pulled out the first victory. This is the first time Tash-Murkon has lost a match ever.
Well,
So,
I mean, there's still a curse on the field for them, so I mean, they haven't technically lost yet.
I guess.
I mean, maybe if
really
Maxine believes really hard. You know all about believing really hard.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. He's actually kiting pretty well. Maybe they're going to make a fool of me once again.
He does need to kill them both within 5 minutes, though.
I mean, he's actually charging right at the... Oh, no, he's running away. I thought he was charging in like a man, but he's, I guess, playing it smart and not suiciding. That's kind of late. Oh, no, he's charging into... no, he's manually piloting, so that's why I have no idea what he's doing. Man, these good pilots really kind of screw my game up. I just like hitting orbit and pushing some buttons and then yelling for people to rep me without having a broadcast.
So Lysis is taking a bit of damage here. Looks like he is slowly going down. Maxine, however, isn't taking any damage. And we're seeing a Hammerhead 1 getting warp scrambled right now, so you've got to make sure they don't warp out the arena.
I mean, going out of the arena is actually pretty hard, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, so unlike the Alliance tournament, there's really no benefit to killing these ships. But what you get is you get to like talk about what you want to do next, and time is a huge thing in these type of matches. So that's what I imagine is going on right now. Just a little bit of back and forth talk.
Yeah. So Lysis is still slowly going down. His friendly Legion, who accidentally warp scrambled the Hammerhead, is actually killing them. They're trying to kill off the Curse's drones. It can only bring a limited amount of drones. Has 150 meters cubed bandwidth, so 2 mediums, 2 flights of lights is normally what you see from them. Lysis is starting to pull back now, though. If Maxine loses all the drones...
All right, so the drones of the Curse are going back on Lysis. There are 2 minutes left in this match. It is by no means over.
I mean, if you can kite the Legion forever, is it just going to be a stalemate? Because if he loses all his drones, then he can't kill him.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, eventually, generally in these things, someone always screws up. But Lysis right now in a pretty precarious situation. These drones, they're slowly dying as he's cycling, as Maxine is cycling them in and out. But every time they get like one volley on him, Lysis, that's damage that he's never going to get repaired again. So I think the play here for Lysis is just to run outside of the Curse's drone control range and try and trick him into running into the Legion.
Yeah, they do have 2 ships, so one thing you can do when you have 2 ships against one, especially in this arena format, it's often the reason why like a typical like TQ kiting gangs like with Vagabonds, etc., aren't very good in a tournament, is you can use the numerical advantage to push them into a position where you can catch them. There's 1 minute left remaining on the match. If Maxine doesn't score a kill, I believe Lysis on Kor-Azor will win because they have 2 ships standing versus 1, with each ship in this format worth the same 25 points.
Oh man, this has got to be a real painful feeling. Maxine, he's almost there to win, but he is down to 1 drone now. It's just 1 drone versus Lysis. I'm pretty sure he can do it. He can keep pulling us out. Lysis is just kind of baiting, and we can actually hear these captains discussing what they want to do next.
30 seconds down. There are a few drones actually around. There's a couple of Valkyries that he's burning to. If he can scoop those drones and put them on Lysis, he might be able to finish him off.
Oh, that's really straightforward thinking. But let's see if he is going to be able to do it. I don't think so.
I mean, the time is going.
He's actually so good, he didn't even overshoot the drones. How do you do that?
5 seconds.
5 seconds left. 4, 3, okay, well, I guess 0. I'm really good at counting. Congrats! The team Kor-Azor taking first blood. And this is Elise and Suetonia sending it back to the big elevated desk with fancy people.
Thank you, Elise. There you have it. Kellen Darklight having his first loss of the Amarr Championships. A little bloody nose.
Yeah. This is going to be the tough competition. This is by far the hardest competition he's faced yet, and I definitely would say, especially in this format, don't rule someone out because they lose a match. Because actually losing a match, you have the consolation that you get to bring that setup back again while your opponent has lost one of their setups.
Now, Apothony, what do we see happening on the field there that was key in that victory?
At the very end, shooting the drones of the Curse of the End, that was a key point, because it doesn't matter if you don't kill the ship when it's 2v1, because as we saw with points, you'll end up winning anyway. So just killing those hammerheads, getting the damage off field, playing it super safe, that just shows that even under this massive pressure, under the spotlights on the stage, Team Lysis is just really, really being chill and managing it. And then as well, this was a story of TDs, both the Curse and the Pilgrim, really, really fantastic tracking disrupting bonuses. We've now got the missile disruptor mods as well.
Which I think the Kellen Darklight Curse probably had missile disruptors, because he had those on the Legion the whole time.
Now, that team that won, that composition specifically, cannot be brought again by the Kor-Azor team. The
Kor-Azor Legion team there cannot be brought again, so they have to pull one of their other 4 setups out.
Which is consequential. Obviously, they've got a feel for that, or at least they were able to put it to good use. And now it's no longer on the table. They're going to have to shift to one of their other comps that has been determined by the other team in selection.
Yes, I mean they got to choose all of their 11 setups, but which 5 they got left with is determined by the other team. So this is something that obviously, as the tournament goes on, you're going to be going deeper and deeper into your reserves of the setups you thought were good. If the other team has the same evaluation of setup strength that you do, by the end of it, you're going to be with your 8th best setup or 9th best setup, which is a lot of setups to be fielding and designing.
Now, I'm not an expert on game theory, but do you go and bring something super weak next if you've got a victory in your pocket, just to kind of put a little bit more pressure on the other team to perform, to make them pull out a heavier card?
So there's not a ton of secrecy here. Both sides have seen what the other setups are, at least ships. They don't know the fittings, but they know the whole lineup of ships. And that means that there isn't really much to lose by just bringing your best stuff. If you win, that's great. You've got another win down. If you lose, you get to bring it again. And it's not like you have to really keep something in reserve for secrecy.
Yeah, I mean, the strategic advantage which Suetonia was talking about earlier is Team Lysis has 2 setups that we kind of agree aren't necessarily the strongest setups that were possible. But if you bring them when you've already got a game 1 up on Kellen's team, when Kellen feel like, okay, we have to bring our absolute best setup, and then you just lose a game with a weaker setup, then their absolute best setup has been completely wasted. I mean, you take the loss, but you reserve your best setups to fight their remaining not top setups.
But since the losing setups can be brought again, you actually don't lose much more by just bringing one of your setups you think might have a chance of winning in that case.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
But of course, they would know that, so they would put the wine in front of you.
You never ever bet on life, or bet with a Amarian when death is on the line.
That is possibly the truth. As we move forward into the next match, we are going to mix things up a little bit here at the desks so that you don't have to listen to the same people saying the same things over and over and over again, except for me. I get to say whatever I want, except for that. So we're going to rotate the desks here a little bit. Suetonia, would you care to come and join us up at the commentary desk? And Apothony, please don't tangle yourself in the chair.
Chairs are difficult.
CCP chair, everybody.
Welcome, Suetonia.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Now, you expressed a lot of interest, actually, in spending time here at the host desk rather than always in on the matches. Do you have a lot of experience? With tournaments?
Yeah, I've been on a few successful tournament teams. I was on the Hydra Reloaded teams in Alliance Tournament 8, 9, 10 where we were banned, 11, 12, and 13 where we were banned again.
That's very colorful indeed. What did you think about the match that you saw there? Was it interesting to be in the field, so to speak?
Yeah, it was a very back and forth. I think both teams could have won at any point there, really. I think Lysis kind of had the advantage in the first game because, like I mentioned, I think they've got 3 slightly stronger setups at the expense of only having 2. Having the other 2 setups being very weak, and they're probably unlikely to ever be able to take a game with them. Whereas Kellen Darklight, even though they're down 1 game now, they've still got 5 pretty decent setups, and the amount of variance that they come up against means that they can selectively choose the best one of their teams to fight what they're probably going to bring, because they've only got basically a 50% chance of...
Yeah, like we said, they have access to the list of ships in each of their opponent's setups, so they can know if they get to down 2 matches, if they've lost twice, they know exactly what they're up against next for every remaining match and can pick whichever setup they think best counters their opponent.
Who are you picking for the next match, gentlemen?
For the next match, I'm going to go with Kellen's team. I think they're going to go and even it up.
All right.
I'm going to go with Tash-Murkon because they knocked me out, and if they win, they'd make me look less bad.
That's a double vote for Kellen, and a vote for you looking less bad. I think you look great. I think you look fine. We're not quite on the field yet, not quite ready to go down to the commentators, so we've got a bit of time to discuss some of what we saw in that first match in a little bit more detail. Interestingly enough, Kellen goes out first. That's the first blood in the water, so to speak. Does that really impact on the team, or is it just freeing up brain power for him to start metaing for the next round?
I'm sure they're going to be fine. It is always interesting when you have a team that hasn't lost a match yet to see how they handle their first loss. Sometimes it can cause a team to get some jitters, sometimes it can cause them to tilt. I don't expect we're going to see that from this team, though. These guys are incredibly strong under pressure in all the earlier rounds and in the fitting round before we started this. They know how to handle this kind of situation. Even in front of a crowd like this, I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So, Tony, have you spent any time with these pilots?
From the teams?
Yeah.
I've spent a little while talking to them at Fanfest here, and I also know quite a lot of them in game. Like Hoodie Mafia, who also commentates on EVE-NT. Lysis is a pretty cool guy who streams in a Procurer. Kellen Darklight is really good at killing Gammas in his Crusader and his Executioner.
And who are you expecting to be clutch in this match where you predict Kellen Darklight comes through?
I'll go with Kellen Darklight.
He's gonna come through this time. He's gonna make it all the way to the end.
He will make it to the end.
All right. We've got a little bit of time for some pre-match chat before the boys take the field. Elise, Apotny?
I love chatting. All right. So you had asked if we had met any of the teams. I had met a few of the teams, and I know Apotny did as well. Right after they chose their setups, they went to the Tweet Fleet meet here in Reykjavik. And instead of having a good time, they're just sitting in the corner, both really, really stressed out, saying, "Oh man, this is going to be a freaking disaster." And then they kind of just sat there, and they were pretty glum. And then CCB Fozzie, meanwhile, was right in the middle, laughing maniacally. It was really great. He was full on giggles. It was really fun to watch.
I think my favorite part of that evening, though, was you singing with the lads, the other one I won. That was...
Yeah, well, I mean, luckily no one recorded that because some videos were confiscated, so no one will have to know whatever happened.
It's totally not on YouTube right now. Everyone's not looking at it on their phones at all.
Yeah, nope, not at all. Let's talk about not that. Nobody brings it
During
up.
the Alliance tournament, we get to switch to like this splash screen of like Alliance ads, and now we get to talk about our singing ability.
I mean, we could act out some Alliance ads. No, you're way better at that than I am. I don't
Which Alliance ad should we act out?
I mean, we could do the Camel Empire one because that's really funny, and you could probably do the voices.
Really?
It's just the one where you go, meh. I think that's a sheep.
Yeah. Oh wait, nah.
It has to be a camel.
What do camels sound like?
I don't know, like a...
Okay, audience, can you help us out? Everyone, on the count of 3, camel impressions. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, some guy in front got it really close, and it was...
That's
there
it.
you go. That guy's got it.
That guy nailed it.
You are about to be recruited to camel, I think.
Yep. Or you can just be like the voice they use instead of an actual camel. I mean, that would be good. So right now, what do you kind of expect to see from these guys? Do you expect to see like both teams taking their absolute beast mode setups, or?
I mean, I have to think that Kellen's team, Tash-Murkon, are going to have to bring the best out, because you do not want to be down 0-2 and have just the pressure of having to win 3 straight games.
Yeah, I mean,
you really want to win this game.
Exactly. All right. So the teams are coming in on field. They're coming in in a perfectly 180-degree angle. So they're like exactly as far away as they would want to be. Before they were like in an acute angle, so they're really close to one another, and that probably caused a little bit of damage to the Tash-Murkon team. And Tom, why don't you, or Apothony, why don't you introduce the Kor-Azor team?
Cool. Okay. So on the Kor-Azor team, as I lock them up, because I'm not actually pressing the control button. There we go. Okay, so we have Lucian for Kor-Azor in a Augur Navy issue. We have Waza in the APOC Navy. Sorry, I was announcing the wrong team. My bad. Okay, so sorry. On the Kor-Azor team, Lysis team, we have Lysis in the Omen Navy issue. We have Sarek in the Purifier. We have Anariasis in the Absolution, and Hoodie Mafia, my even T-Bro, in the Vengeance.
Nice. I will introduce the Tash-Murkon team. Wasa's in the APOC Navy issue, Lucian in the Augur Navy issue, Keelan Darklight in the Crucifier, and Maxine again in a Heretic. This both new setups, obviously, from different times. It's interesting to note that the Kor-Azor team warped into the beacon pretty all clumped up, and meanwhile, oh, there's 30 seconds left. Oh, I better go fast. Tell me about the Tash-Murkon team, their warp-in ranges.
Okay, so the Tash-Murkon team, they've come in just all blobs up together. They've, Tash-Murkon team. They've all come in at different ranges. So we've got the Kellan Darklight and the Crucifier, and Maxine and the Heretic way at the back, chilling, so you can get that Purifier damage off at max range, huge torque velocity bonus. And then the Heretic, going to be a great anti-tackle ship. We've seen that in the Alliance tournament. And then the big ol' Org Navy, which is a surprisingly fast ship for Amarr, going in the middle. And the match has started. We've got Team Alpha's Avengers going straight in, now curving around, and lasers firing everywhere.
All right, so Lysis is taking the brunt of the damage right now, and it'll be interesting to see Keelan Darklight's Crucifier, if he can stay out of harm's way. He's going to be integral in all this, because look at all of these things that he can track and disrupt. I know they're not scripted, but they're still bonused.
This is so powerful. I mean, the APOC Navy issue gets a double bonus to tracking and optimal. It's really great at application, but that nerf, the E-War mod, just really takes it to pieces and won't hit anything. The Org Navy of Lysis actually taking a lot of damage here, going straight for the team captain, trying to burn him down.
Indeed, but this Obi Navy issue is pretty fast, and Hard Knocks guys are used to kiting around. Interestingly enough, Hoodie Mafia's Vengeance snuck right behind the Tash-Murkon team, and he is basically trying to get tackle on something here. It looks like they're going for the Heretic first, just to try and get that damage rejection out of the field.
Yeah, damage now going actually onto the APOC Navy. The biggest ship is going to have the most buffer, but at the same time it represents the most damage. We had a little bit of damage bleeding onto the Vengeance here. It looks like he's got a rep, he's going back up. We've got damage now bleeding across all of both teams. They test each other out as they reposition. They just shoot whatever they've got in range. We actually have Lysis's Omen Navy burning away so he can get back out, right back up and come into the action. But now we have Maxine's Heretic actually taking a lot of damage going down to the bottom of its armor tank.
He is tackled currently by Hoodie Mafia's Vengeance, and that was really great piloting by Hoodie Mafia. Just snuck right in there and got that Heretic. Not something you generally see every day. There are rep drones on this Heretic. He's actually tanking. He's tanking decently well, given how small he is.
Then again, the Purifier, suddenly Sarek taking tons of damage, going down to Lara's, and Purifier is gone. Bam!
Oh.
Same time, Heretic dropping, just bleeding through structure. He's stayed alive for so long, and that means so much. Being able to pick off that Purifier before the Heretic goes down gives them such a tempo advantage, and it does go down.
He finally goes down, but what a trade. That was really nice. Now Hoodie Mafia's Vengeance is really far out of position. Lysis is in half armor over here, trying to just kill some drones. That was a really great trade here. Interestingly enough, Sutonia mentioned earlier in the match that the Tash-Murkon team have a lot of battleship-heavy comms. And when you have battleship-heavy comms, it just means a lot of EHP to chew through. When you're in this 4v4 format, that means quite a lot, as these guys are learning. Like, that Heretic lived for an extra 10 seconds longer than he ought to have, and he managed to trade a ship with him, even though he was caught out of position.
Purifiers do so much damage. with the torp damage, every volley matters so much. You say just limited EHP in this 4v4 format. We now have the Org Navy of Lucian just suddenly bursting through its shield tank. Looks like Lysis has managed to mitigate and starting to rep back up and coming back in. We've got Amarr in the Absolution taking armor damage now, and now the Cure.
Looks like Keelan Darklight's tackled in some capacity and taking some damage. If he can survive a little bit longer, it'll be great. But if he dies really early on, then it looks like the Kor-Azor team will have a massive advantage. Right now, you can see all of their teams are sitting right on top because they're tracking disrupted. They really have to. So Keelan
Darklight, team captain going now. Half structure losing his armor again. The ancillary rep doing the best he can. Bursting back up. Keelan going down, but not. Come on, Keelan, buddy.
He is tanking perfectly. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, buying his team time. Meanwhile, Lysis is
there he goes.
All right, there it goes. But he traded a Crucifier for half the EHP of an Absolution. That is so incredible, because this Absolution is currently sitting right on top of an Augur Navy issue. Not really the ship you want to start shooting unless it's, even if it's a polarized Augur Navy issue, it'll still tank a lot. This ship gets an inherent armor HP bonus.
All the DPS that Tash-Murkon can take off field here means so much, because as you were saying before, the APOC Navy has so much EHP. The Absolution now going into structure, going down.
Abso is also
last
linked
of
to
its
this
structure. That's a lot of DPS gone from the field, evening it up.
All right, Hoodie Mafia now taking a lot of the damage from this Augur Navy issue. He does not want to be there at all. Oh my God, he wants to run away as fast as he can, but it might be a little bit too little too late. He's eating all of his drone damage, HP, and there's no way he can tank. Looks like...
going down.
Okay, yeah,
he's structure.
He is 1,000,000% dead.
Kor-Azor going
there
down.
He goes.
There we go.
Someone make a gong sound.
Okay, now we have an Omen Navy issue versus an Augur Avian issue and an APOC Navy, and the Omen Navy is already suddenly back into half armor. Lysis has a lot to do here to claw it back. Do you think he can?
No, I do not. I am gonna go the safe route and say he is going to eat it, and he'll probably shoot some drones. Maybe he's gonna take the MJD. He is. He's going for the micro jump drive. Oh, he's not. What a loser.
Disappointing.
That's why you're losing right now. I mean, technically you're winning, but all right. So Lysis, he's actually doing admirably well. He's manually piloting around, trying to get his transversal up so he doesn't take a lot of damage, buying his team a little bit of time to decide. Yeah, exactly. You saw the amount of time it took us to change seats, the amount of time they had to essentially theory craft and get their setups. So all the minutes you can get is definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, so Team Tash-Murk managing to even up this rank. We're going to go to a 1-1 as soon as Lysis loses the last of his structure. As Elise tells me that he's not going to be able to pull it back, I will believe my Alliance head. So here we go, down to the last of structure.
No.
Lysis is down.
He's down. All right.
Kellon ties it up 1-1, bringing it back for Tash-Murkon, and we will go back to the analysis desk.
5 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah,
and that puts us to a definite 4-match tournament here.
At least 4 matches. That is 1-1 now. We're all tied up. I think you never want to underestimate Lysis when he's in a kiting laser cruiser. We saw what he was able to do with the Zealot actually earlier in one of the earlier rounds when he basically took back a match with just excellent manual piloting. However, Navy Omen versus an APOC Navy is not the best situation for that, because the Navy Omen's best when you're kiting, and at that point the APOC can just hit you, and you're in a lot of trouble.
The Navy APOC in particular as well, having the tracking and range bonus on a single hull makes it very, very hard to mitigate damage from it, especially since it's in a cruiser anyway. You can't really mitigate damage very well by traversal, and if you go close to it, it actually had a grappler web that we saw quickly, so you can't really go under its guns, you can't really move away from it.
It's a tough thing. We've been seeing actually a couple of uses of grapplers. This is the first official CCP tournament that we've had since the grapplers were introduced. It's really amazing to see that you can kind of get a good advantage from having a battleship out on the field with these things.
Obviously, we're not going to see that comp again from Kellen Darkeyes' team, who is...
No, that particular setup, the APOC Navy setup, will no longer be
there, which is a shame because it was put to good use.
So both teams are now down to 4 setups total, although, of course, Lyce's team is really only down to 2 because they've got the 2 frigate setups as well.
You really don't put a lot of stock in those. They're just...
The frigate setups? No. I mean, Suetonius is absolutely right with his analysis. They're not intended to be used. They weren't designed to be flown. They were designed to be a place for the concentration of ships that are weaker so they can put stronger ships in their remaining setups.
It'd be interesting, though, if they ended up taking one out.
It would be, yes. I can guarantee that it would be at least a quick match.
So in a 1v1 a 1-to-1 situation that we have right now, a tie, locked up a score, we had a little bit of commentary earlier about whether you go with strong, whether you go weak. Obviously, you're still of the opinion that you just take whatever's got the biggest punch behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for both these teams, they have at least a couple of setups that they're very happy with, they think are very strong. So you don't necessarily have one best setup, though you might. And it's not necessarily just about bringing the best setup. You want to bring something that but you do want to bring something you think is going to win. I don't think there's never a good reason to bring a throwaway setup. You'll always want to at least give yourself the best chance of winning each match.
Now, we heard Elise mention, the amount of time that they had to get ready was about the amount of time that we had here at the desk to swap everything around. Suetonius, is that enough time?
No, it's not, but I think that's very intentional. I think the thing is you need to make the best out of it. It's not to have the best, 5 possible setups after your 6 get banned. It's more about just managing your time and just getting the best you can.
Yeah, we know that the challenge we gave people to fit all these ships in such a short period of time was going to be incredibly difficult, but these are the 2 finalists from the Amarr Championship. They're the champions of their house. They fought through a whole round to become the champions for their house, and then they fought through another round to become the last 2 houses standing, and they are teams that are capable of meeting this challenge.
Now, we do have a video about the fittings, and we'd like to cue that up for the viewers in the Twitch chat and for everyone here in the auditorium at Fanfest.
On the day before Fanfest 2016, we invited the remaining teams in the Amarr Championships to their CCP offices to take part in the fitting and banning phases of the final round of the championship.
How did the Amarr Championships go? Awesome for us, absolutely. Rough at the start, that was really hard to get into, but really good results for us and a lot of fun.
The early stages had a lot of ups and downs for us. So we won early on and then we lost a couple of matches. My favorite moment was dying early on and my team managing to pull it back together.
Big upsets that we noticed in the tournament was, having like Chester's team being taken out, Elise's team. There's a lot of crazy teams that we were surprised that got knocked out during the first weekend.
When we got in the initial state, when we seen our first 2 matches, that the Warlord teams lost the first match, and that made us very confident.
The early stages of the Amarr Championship was pretty good. My team's performance, was pretty good, except one little mistake, which almost cost us the match, but overall it was very good. Everybody did what they're supposed to do and didn't make any huge mistakes.
The team could really understood the meta really quickly and really well. We had a lot of people in the team that are flying mostly Amarr ships, so I think that helped a lot.
My favorite moment was the first match we had against Chester team. We were stressed and hype at the same time, but it was a good match, pretty quick, and good ships like Confessors and Legion. It was awesome.
Went better than expected. Chester's group could have easily knocked us out if maybe the round had been reversed. I'm going to be talking to Chester right now. Fittings is about what we expected. The bands is a little bit more elaborate than it was in the previous stage. It's going to be interesting trying to get all that done in time.
We have to come up with a fit for a ship every 3 minutes. So it's a bit of a challenge.
We need to pull out 6 comp, 11 comp that will actually make sense without the other team banning them. And I'm curious to see what will happen.
The rule set that's upcoming, I think we're very comfortable in it. And despite the limited time frame that we have, we're going to do pretty well.
I like the rule set for the final round. That's playing to our strength, I think. It's pretty similar to EVE and T-Collides that we have been involved with this group. So I think we should be able to deal with this pretty well.
The biggest challenge I believe that we face is just the short window that we get.
Am I worried about the other team? No, not really. It's like nothing I can do by worrying, so.
I think in the upcoming match we'll have about a 50% chance, so I don't really see any team favorited. Working out a fitting for all of the ships given was almost impossible in the time that we were given.
It was extremely difficult to work out a fit with the time given, as we only had about 2 to 3 minutes per fit because we had to have 44 of the 46 available ships fitted and ready to go within 2 hours.
We tried to mix it up and make it hard for the other guys to ban our strongest comps, so we tried to make a lot of equally strong compositions.
My strategy for banning was to just look at ships and figure out the weakest comp or the weakest ships that we can kill.
Any mind games that are being played. I think whether we were going to be allowing Logi on either sides into these setups or whether they were going to get banned.
There's multiple composition that surprised me, especially the frigate composition, like full frigate fleet.
Any particular composition we came up with proud of was definitely our Legion setup.
Why, sir?
Just because the Legion's pretty underrated and it could do a lot by itself, especially in a 4-man comp. It's an insane tank and it can still put a great amount of DPS, and it's very big utility on the Legion.
In 2 hours, we had 44 ships to fit, which means it's almost 3 minutes per ship. And this is not including the actual time we need to make decomposition. So it was absolutely crazy.
Some confident, capable pilots there dealing with a sadistic madman.
It was funny, actually.
Incredible challenge.
After we gave them the rules, we first gave them the rules, and then they actually commented to me, "Man, when I heard you talking about it on stream earlier, you sounded like it was going to be really sadistic, but it doesn't seem all that evil." I think they kind of changed their mind after they had gone through the 2 hours and realized how quickly they have to work.
Now, before we go into the next round, where we'll see how they conquered that challenge, you guys want to mix it up again?
Yeah, let's do another swap.
Fuzzy, why don't you get down there? CCP Fuzzy, everyone. Now he gets to watch firsthand the fruits of his labors. Elise, welcome back to the desk.
Hey.
It's been too long since I sat near the Smuggernaut.
I mean, there is one PL pilot on the Tash-Murkon team who's actually in my corp. He's Lucian the Fourth. So I'm going to be really smug when he wins.
He just said he's not worried about the other team at all in the video.
Yeah. We teach smug really well.
You've done fine, sir. Of course, I imagine you'll be rooting for your boy, but based on what you've seen so far, what kind of player are we seeing in this next match?
Well, the individual skill is actually pretty phenomenal, and the decision making is really good. There are sometimes when watching Alliance tournament matches when there's a huge disparity, you get to see some really clowny stuff go down, but not seeing any clowny stuff this time, which is unfortunate because it's really fun to see.
Suetonia, some quick comments before we go down to the booth?
Yeah, good example of what Elise was just talking about was we saw, I think it was Lucian the Fourth, when he was soloing his curse, his drones got killed, so then he was moving over to the Dead Pilgrim to take the drones from that. And that's one of the things about decision making that not a lot of people think about.
Well, these pilots certainly operating at a high level. They are thinking about those tactics and strategies that are going to give them the best shot at winning. The best shot at winning, of course, to get on the field and shoot the other team from optimal. So let's go down to the booth and see how Fuzzy and Apothny are analyzing what's happening on grid.
Hey guys, we've got another 2 great setups here. I'm going to introduce the House Tash-Murkon guys. Kellen Darklight's in an Imperial Navy Slicer. Maxine is in a Zealot. Lucian's in a Devoter. And YC118 is in an Oracle. So this is the Oracle setup that they posted. And this is a really, really strong setup. The Devoter is up front to screen. It warped in at 0. And the whole rest of the team warped back so they can take advantage of the long range on that Zealot and Oracle.
Okay, so for Kor-Azor, we have an Absolution flown by Anayasis, which I can't pronounce, I'm sorry, Lysis in the Omen Navy issue, Hoodie Map in the Vengeance, in the Sarek, Minitar, in the Purifier. I think this is actually my favorite team from the Tash-Murkon lineup with the Devoter with just that 37.5k scram is amazing.
Yeah, it is an amazing setup, it is an amazing ship, great for screening, great tackle up here front. This is the first time we've seen a ship repeated. Just quickly, okay, cool, never mind. I was going to make a note, but it's already being handled. So seeing a setup get repeated, we know it's going to happen, of course, in a tournament like this where you have to come back and bring back setups that you've lost with. But what are you thinking if you're the Kor-Azor team here, having to bring back a setup you know you just lost with, but you're up against a different opponent? What's your thought process?
I mean, I think it's just a case of, you're bringing what you're bringing and you've just got to get on grid and see what they brought and spend the maximum amount of time thinking about, okay, how are we going to take this specific match? So here, Kor-Azor are against this, as you said, Imp Navy Slicer, Zealot, Devoter, Oracle. Now, obviously, no Logi, so the Imp Navy Slicer, if you can get a damage on it, maybe an easy tick. You need to get through the Devoter, which will probably be screening for the Oracle and the Zealot. It's like a really hard team to penetrate the defensive scrams of, depending how many scrams are fit to that Devoter, because I mean, you could realistically fit 4 scrams and just hold the entire team down.
Yeah, I mean, afterburners, of course, can get around that. Doesn't necessarily get web on in that case. But the match is a couple seconds away from starting, so we're about to begin. I expect you're going to see people trying to, that Slicer from Kellen Darklight trying to pick off the Purifier really quickly, but we'll see as they begin now. So the Devoter of Lucian charging forward already. He's going to start to get those scrams down really quickly. And already damage onto the Absolution. Yeah,
and the Purifier as well taking a lot of damage. The Absol burning straight in. We've got Hoodie's Vengeance burning around to the side, positioning. The Purifier pulling back. Got lots of light armor reps on it. Looks like main damage primary is in fact going to be the Devoter.
Yeah, I mean, they may not have a
team.
big choice because the Devoter may be the only thing that's going to be within range if it's screening effectively. It is going down quite quickly. It's taking some chunks out, but so is the Absolution. Of course, the Kellen Darklight team here knows how tanky that Absolution is because they've shot through it before. So they have a good idea of what they're up against when shooting at it.
The Oracle now taking some damage, whether that's just a glancing blow or whether it's just trying to change where they're sending the rep drones. We can see a ton of rep drones flying across the field from the Purifier down to the Absolution. And having the distance between those pilots, drone flight time is a really big deal when you bring these logistics drones.
It is indeed. Oh wow, that Purifier taking a lot of damage.
Whoa,
there we go, Purifier down. So that Purifier got caught by the Slicer and by a flight of light drones that reached it, and that's a lot of damage off the field. Damage would be very effective, especially against that Oracle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, against the Imp Navy Slicer, the Zealot, or the Devoter, I mean, really, the Torp's not going to do much.
All right,
but
Lysis
it was the
is the
big
new primary,
scary thing for the
and
Oracle.
he is taking quite a bit of damage. He, of course, is in a very fast ship. He should be able to pull some range, but unfortunately for him, his opposing ships are all actually quite long range as well. Zealot and Oracle especially can project really far, so the Omen isn't really able to take advantage of his range.
I mean, Lysis has scared me before with getting close to the bottom of the structure, then pulling away and coming back up. Really good pilot. The Oracle now taking a lot of damage, going into bottom armor.
Quickly.
That is the core DPS
that is a
of the
lot of the DPS
team.
of the Tash-Murkon team. He is up close and personal right now, trying to track. And I don't know. Oh wow, it's going to be tough to see whether the Oracle or the Omen Navy die
going
first.
down structure first.
That Oracle doesn't have any rep drones on him right now. Of course, there isn't a lot of rep drones elsewhere on the team there. But he is into structure now. He's going to go down, but the question is he going to be able to take more chunks off of that Omen Navy issue? He needs to get some more volleys off from
the Omen Navy before he goes down to finish that duel. Oracle at the bottom of his structure, 1%.
Is about to go
Can he get another volley?
And next volley. There we go.
Oracle goes down. 3 ships to 3, but Lysis' Omen Navy is in a lot of trouble. We still have the full tank of the Tash-Murkon team available. All of their armor tanks still there, but that Omen Navy is in a lot of trouble.
So the Omen Navy is taking fire now. He is within range of the Zealot. The Zealot's actually going to be the biggest challenge for him. It can track him effectively. It has the range to keep up with him. It's going to be what can really hit him. That Slicer is actually in a bit of a tricky place because it can't really brawl with the Vengeance. And it needs to be very careful with these bigger ships to keep it sniped.
This is a Kellen Darklight Slicer, which is like a Slicer plus. Anyone who flies around in Black Rise and Northern Low will know that you are in trouble if you see him on grid.
Yeah, it looks like Maxine in the Zealot is the new primary from the Kellen or the Lysis team. and they're going to see how strong his armor tank is. Of course, they haven't faced the cell yet, so they don't know how it's tanked. The Omen Navy issue of Lysis is holding on, actually. It looks like he got enough distance to get the fire dropped off of him.
Yeah, he's pulled back. He's just got some Hobgoblin 1s on at the moment. They're going to burn him down very, very slowly. Neither team's now taking any really significant DPS. They're just cutting around, dancing around, positioning. I mean, that's a lot of the thing that you can't really see. Just the positioning is so immaculate from both teams in this tournament. Looks like the Zealot is currently the damage primary, as you said, but it's got a rep. It's doing just fine with that T2 resist profile.
Yeah, one key ship for Lysis' team right now is Hoodie Mafia and the Vengeance. Yeah. It's a strong tanking frigate, fast enough to catch up and tackle that Zealot and Devoter, which is going to be really key if they want to be able to apply their damage. That's why I think we're seeing some of the incidental damage on him. This may be the Slicer damage being applied to him. No, it's the Devoter damage, because right now the Vengeance is essentially screening the Devoter and keeping him tackled so that they can get damage applied to him. That's a lot of damage applied to that Devoter right now. It's already in half armor.
It's going down quickly. Lysis still just bleeding slight bits of armor. I mean, the Devoter is such a tanky ship. It's used so well on TQ, but it is burning down so quickly here. Lysis actually again taking more damage. This could be another 1-for-1 trade here.
It's very possible. Yeah, Lysis is surviving amazingly well. The Omen Navy issue, not well known for being a tanky ship.
Yeah.
But it is a very agile and fast ship, and it can use its range advantage to avoid damage in the hands of a really good pilot. And obviously, Lysis is an extremely skilled pilot.
It's going into structure now. I'd love to see the kill mill, see how much damage it actually took. Devoter repping through. Lysis' Omen Navy dropping down now. Bottom quarter of its structure. Lysis falling quickly, and Lysis is down.
So that's now 2 ships down for Lysis' team. Lucian in the Devoter is repping back really hard. He now has gotten, I think, his rep drones on him. Let me just double check there. Yep, so he's got some rep drones helping him out. I believe. Yep. And he is now tackled by the Vengeance still, but is repping amazingly well at this point, actually.
Vengeance on Devoter action in the center of the fight now. However, we do have the Abso burning in, getting all that damage, max damage ammo onto Lucian's Devoter here. He is in a lot of trouble.
I think it's pretty obvious from looking at the way this fight has operated so far that Devoter has a strong active tank, probably dual rep. So by moving in really close and probably overheating, the Abso is going to hope to burn through it. They just weren't doing enough. There you go. Kellen's also taking some damage here. Kellen is getting sniped a bit by that Abso. He came in closer to do some damage and took some damage himself, but I think he's pulling away again. There you go. He's running back to do some range.
Yeah.
He's going to try to survive here. But that Abso is just slowly dropping down.
Slowly going down, bit by bit by bit. Devoter managing just fine.
Kellen just dived in and then turned around and right back out. Yeah.
No, thank you very much. But the thing about the Devoter is it may be that its tank is completely front-loaded with like an ancillary rep. If he runs out of cap, if he runs out of charge, we can see him suddenly drop all the way down if he hasn't got a plate fit. The Abso is dropping down so incrementally, he must have a huge amount of EHP. It could swing out. There we go, see the Devoter now just already lost just a third of its armor straight away. Is he going to rep that back up?
Yeah, the Devoter's taking damage fast. He doesn't have a huge amount of buffer. He's just a strong rep. I wonder, though, if actually the time that Kellen drew the fire might have allowed Lucian to reload a AAR, an ancillary rep.
Tempting them with the easy kill of a Slicer to give the Devoter enough time to reload that rep. Abso now dropping into a quarter of its armor, slowly going down still.
I think it's definitely, this match is not over yet. That Abso is still a very dangerous ship. Does a lot of damage, has great range, good tank, but definitely a stronger position for Kellen Darklight's team. I would definitely rather be in their shoes right now.
Yeah, I mean, Abso dropping again. I mean, it's a really interesting choice. When you have both those ships in brawling position, choosing the Abso over the Vengeance, the Abso represents a lot more of the DPS, but also you've got all this massive tank to chew through. Devoter now dropping down to half armor, repping back up as best he can. Is this the end of his tank? Is he bait tanking? We will have to wait and see.
Yeah, this Devoter is like right beside the Abso. They're both doing full damage here. And
bleeding into structure now. The Abso of Anariasis is in a lot of trouble. He needs to...
The Abso is now actually looking to pull some range. I think he may be trying to get a bit of distance so he can rep up. We'll see if they can get some tackle on him to hold him down. He'll be scrammed by the Devoter, but I don't think they've got a weapon.
And there he goes, Abso down. Whoa, Hoodie immediately dropping through his shields. Looks like Kellen's team's significant advantage in this third map. They're trying to take it to the 2-1. Vengeance going down through half armor, and I think we may end up with Team Cal on Team Tash-Murkon taking this third game.
Tash-Murkon, really strong showing, and now they've beaten the APSO team twice. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do next, because they are now one match away from gold magnates. One win if they can win the next match.
Back to the desk.
Vengeance getting zipped.
Yeah,
that's what happens. We're lucky to be joined here for a little bit of commentary on not just what just happened in the match, but also what's happening at large in the Amarr Empire as a result of these matches by the illustrious CCP Falcon. Falcon, thank you for joining us.
Nice to be here.
Our gracious audience, Falcon.
I know, wonderful. I like how you had to prompt them for applause. Thanks, guys.
Now, Falcon, obviously, a ton of work on the development side from the storyline team, the lore team, has gone into kind of looking at the events that are happening here with the death of Jamal and the Succession Trials, the tournament that happened, or the first stages of this tournament, which happened in November, and obviously this final here, the storylines. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the process for proceeding with that story and the lore behind it itself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the decision was made that we wanted to make some changes in the Amarr Empire, shake things up a little bit. And we thought, why not the Amarr Championships? It's a good thing. It hasn't happened in a while, and it's great to see, all the really, really skilled small gang guys come out of the woodwork and really show their true colors. I mean, you saw that match there. You saw the micromanagement, the amount of heat people are using. It's like, it's crazy. It's really nice to see it. So yeah, we thought we'd take a look at it. We'd see if we could make some changes in the Amarr Empire, and the Amarr Championships was the obvious choice. So we sat down and we started looking at planning it out. We brought the tournament team on board, obviously, because there's a hell of a lot of infrastructure goes into this. And then from there, we decided to start planning out the storyline, and we sort of had a rough idea of what would happen if each of the years won. And then obviously now we're down to 2, so we're thinking more in detail about what's going to happen depending on what happens tonight.
So really the players in EVE are having a really strong influence in the stories that are being presented. Not just their own stories, which are incredible on their own, but the stories that CCP has created and put into the game. They're actually choosing it through their actions.
Yeah, I mean, tonight decides kind of the political future of the Amarr Empire. It could go one side with Tash-Murkon, where things become a little bit more liberal, a little bit more relaxed. Sort of good links with the Kaldari state, or at least a little bit better than they are now. Or with Kor-Azor, you could see a little bit more conservatism. It could be, could go either way. It's nice to see.
Kor-Azor is not, relative to the Amarr culture, not actually all that traditional.
Not all that traditional, no, but I wouldn't say as liberal as Tash-Murkon, definitely. She's very focused on foreign policy. She's got, she's very wealthy. She comes from a merchant family. So they're always thinking about, what the best political players, what the best business players. So,
I'm seeing a huge grin over here from Elise Randolph. Are you RPing out?
I kind of am. You guys were talking about like the neat parts of the story that the players are involved in, and the CCP is involved in. You are now the CCP, just letting you know. But one of the neat things that happened at least with me, is I competed in the tournament. I lost. I actually lost to a bunch of people in the front row. So that's cool. You can see some waving. Yeah, you guys beat me. You're great. Other stuff, like I got really involved in the RP side of things. I started posting a lot in the in-character events section. I even declared war with PL against someone else from the front row, Marco Priano. Yeah, there you go. We exchanged words, like in-game words, or in-character words. And like we went to war, then we made up, and then we're like bros now. It's pretty good. So like that type of thing is what comes out of this event, not just really great PvP. And as CZ Falcon was saying, we got to see like the first person view of some of these guys, and it was really cool to see how many of their modules were like almost burned out, how they like overheated modules as they were reloading to get that faster cycle time. Just these little things that make a really great pilot, or a really good pilot, great, just on display.
And you got to think, lore-wise, if you die, everybody dies.
Yeah.
The House Lord dies. Probably all the retainers die. Pretty sure you die.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna turn on the heat.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and the guys, like the little guys that are manning the ship, that are like turning on the heat. I imagine The way I like to think it is there's a bunch of little people pushing all the modules for you. I know that's probably not how the lore works, but can we make that how the lore works?
Interestingly enough, you'll be able to buy a book about the interiors of Eve ships, official cutaways to see how things are stored, who's doing what, who's pushing what buttons.
This is a book that you should read.
It's all for you. You pick up the book.
Nice, I will. I like books like
Available at your local
bookstore?
Bookseller. Is that anywhere? Available at your local bookstore.
It'll be out there next summer, so people can pick it up, people can read it.
Were you guys involved in that as well? I see your name on everything, and I'm like, not again.
Wow, thanks.
Hey, look at it. I get one thing. I get the mic. That's it.
Yeah.
So were you involved in the creation of the books that are coming out, the new chronicles that will be given or that were offered as prizes to the costume contest winners? Are you fingers in all those pies?
Yeah, but I'm a small part of a big team, really. I mean, there's myself, there's CCP Delegate Zero, CCP Affinity, with the primary three who are dealing with chronicles, lore, news, and the primary three who've been working from the storyline side in the Amarr Championships. And there's CCP Torrey France as well, who's our creative director, and he kind of oversees the IP development projects, like the books. But myself and Delegate Zero have written extensively for Eve Source, for the Art of New Eden, and also CCP Affinity's going to be featuring in the new book. With some storyline as well, and she's actually getting excited about writing chronicles as well this year. So
if anyone here in the room, if you haven't met up with CCP Affinity wandering around during Fanfest, do that. Go tomorrow. Go out and find her. Find Delegate Zero. These people know so much about New Eden, so much about the lore, about the universe. It's amazing to talk to them.
And it really is fascinating too. I was never really involved with it. I kind of knew, I knew what the races were. I knew a little bit about them. But as I got involved in this, in the Amarr Championship and the Succession Trials, I really sunk my teeth into it and just loved it so much. It was really neat to get involved. And especially the Amarr, they've got the most rich backstory in their history.
There's a lot there. There's a lot to read, and it's tens of thousands of years back. It's incredibly lengthy when they first established themselves on Amarr Prime. Just incredible. Falcon, is there anything else that we should keep our eyes out for, lore-wise, coming up after the events that unfold here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are going to be changes in how the Amarr Empire deals with the other factions, how their policies develop, that kind of thing. Obviously, there's going to have to be a coronation for whoever is crowned, whoever takes the Golden Throne of Amarr. So, yeah, there's going to be a few events surrounding it. There'll be some more stuff. We've also got other storyline stuff coming in the summer as well that's already been talked about. So we've got Serpenta stuff coming, more pirate faction stuff. Yeah, it's going to be. Is
this you?
Packed, yeah, I'm on fire. I'm so excited about backstory.
I have to ask, is there going to be an Amarr prom?
Is there going to be an Amarr prom?
Yeah.
Maybe next Fanfest?
Yeah, maybe next Fanfest.
Can we do a formal dance? You guys want to get dressed up?
Sure, at the coronation.
Not you guys. I know you want to get dressed up. These guys back here.
We'll have to see. I mean, who knows what the next Fanfest is going to be themed around. It's generally we'll pick up on a big storyline event, or if something big's happening in the world, then generally we theme Fanfest around that. So this time next year, who knows? It depends on who wins tonight, I guess.
Fantastic. Well, let's get back to deciding who wins tonight. Coming up next, the fourth match. Hey, how y'all doing?
So
everything is running smooth. I've got this thing going on. This guy's talking to me. Come on. The fourth match coming up, a possible decider if Tash-Murkon can pull through under the guidance of Kellen Darklight and win one more. Their house is moving forward. If Lysis can bring the pain, we're going to go to the full five. What do you guys think?
Geez, I don't know. I really want to see more matches because they're actually really fascinating and they're really fun to watch. I mean, I know you guys probably love it as much as I do. But yeah, I really want more matches, so I'm hoping Kor-Azor can pull at least one more out.
Paul?
It would be nice to see it go to 5, but I'm just interested to see who comes out on top, really, because it's gonna really color some of the work that myself, Delegate Zero and Affinity are going to be doing. So yeah, I'm just excited. I don't really honestly care who wins. I just want to see a really, really good fight.
Interesting. You mentioned looking at the HUD earlier, first-person HUD. Is that the first time we've used that tech in a tournament?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm showing the actual view from the player ships.
I think that's incredible, and really seeing how much work they're doing on piloting and operating their modules as it happens. That's new stuff. That's going to be great this year.
It's great. It's one of the things that we get to do because of the tournament being held here. We have access to the computers. We can hook them all up. Obviously, it would be hard to do it reliably at the Alliance tournament, but hopefully we can find ways to do it more in the future. It is a really cool view, a little sneak peek. We don't want to show too much because otherwise the other team could turn around and maybe get a bit of insight. But it is still a really great view. The amount of micromanagement that it takes to compete in these kind of tournaments is incredible.
You heard it here. We can do that if you come to Iceland. So come to Iceland more for tournaments in the future. Guys, a little bit of a prediction. Do you think Lysis can come with a win?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm trying to sneak over and look at their screens so I can look really, really smart when I guess, but I can't. Their screens are so far away. It's kind of cheating, but I don't know. I still think that Kor-Azor can pull one out. Just one more.
Yeah, I think things have been pretty balanced so far. I'd like to see Kor-Azor nail it on the head again and then go to the final match. I like sort of the nail biter. The last match would be great, just for the showmanship, I think. So yeah, let's see Kor-Azor go again.
We're going to go down to the boys on the floor. That's still not hitting it. We're going to go to CCP Fazi and Setonia for a little bit of pre-game chatter.
Yeah, so I think one thing that we haven't really talked about yet is the prize ships from this tournament. Now, of course, prize ships are nothing new to EVE. In fact, the prize ships we're giving out here are the oldest prize ships in the history of EVE. This is a prize that has not been given out since the original Amarr Championships back in, I think, 3 or 4. These are the gold and silver magnates. They're incredible ships. They actually predate the magnates that you can all fly and are really, really powerful. We buffed them up for this. They essentially represent the best of all Amarrian frigates. They've got the speed and the range and the damage of a slicer and the tank of an assault frigate. Really, really powerful vessels. So, Tonya, if you had one of these ships, if you had a gold magnate to fly however you want, what would you do with it? Where would you take it?
I'd probably just leave it in my hangar because I
can't blame you. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I know it's the dream of a lot of very small gang solo pilots. You can kite with it. You can use your skill to your best ability. It really is a ship that gets a lot better in the hands of the best pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I think we're going to hopefully get to see some of these ships get used on TQ. They're going to be incredibly valuable and rare, though. The gold magnates, there was one given out years ago, and it died. The actual story of how it died and who killed it is in the description now for history, so anyone can look at that. And there will now be 4, 1 for each member of the winning team, one of these 2 teams. And then we will also have silver magnates that are given to each member of the champions of any of the houses. So they're the people that made it through the first weekend. We've got it's not only going to be the second place team, but also all the other champions, including a bunch of people that came here to Fanfest. Some are sitting up in the front row. Really great pilots. So these teams are landing on the field in just a moment, so it'll be a second before we can see exactly what they brought. But of course, for Kellen Darklight's team of Tash-Murkon, they can't bring back the setup that they just used because they won with it. So they need to pull something else out of their hat, and we'll have to see which one of their setups they grab. On the other side, Lysis has brought back the Absolution setup. So this is once again the same setup. It's now lost twice, but they're going to try to bring it back. Again, it really shows off the piloting of someone like Lysis in the Open Navy. It's going to be a very, very tough match, I think. I'm just going to do a bit of locking up right now, and then I'll describe to you what House Tash-Murkon has brought. Tash-Murkon has a Abaddon flown by YC118, a Sacrilege flown by Lucian, a Crusader flown by Maxine, and a Tormentor flown by Kellen Darklight.
And the Kor-Azor team has Hoodie Mafia in the Vengeance, Sarag Minotaur in the Purifier, Lysis in the Omen Navy Shoot, and Narius in the Absolution.
Yeah, so this is a setup that we've, of course, seen now a couple of times. What do you think it's a big advantage for the Tash-Murkon team to now be going up against a team they faced twice? They kind of are starting to get a feel for the tank of each of the ships, for the damage, for what it takes to get under their tracking. Is this something that you think is going to make a big difference?
Yeah, obviously you can't change the fits in this format. They're all pre-selected, so by now they probably can piece together 90% of what all of the modules are on these ships.
Yeah, at this point, they also have the kill mails, so actually they'll be looking at that too. So they've got a pretty good idea of what they're up against. On the other side, though, this Abaddon team, a lot of tank. A whole lot of tank. Abaddon's, of course, known for a big tank, as we're now 30 seconds away, which is, I think, why they were comfortable bringing the Abaddon in at 0. So we've got the Abaddon and the Sacrilege, 2 of the heaviest tanking Amarr ships, in at 0, while Kellen Darklight and Maxine and the frigates are out at 30 kilometers.
Yeah, this would be very interesting though, because there is a Purifier on the Kor-Azor team, and the Purifier it doesn't apply very good damage to frigates, but to that Abaddon, it's going to be taking really 500 to 600 DPS.
I'm sure though it'll be the priority for Maxine and the Crusader and Kellen and the Tormentor. But now the match has begun. The Purifier's running away, getting some distance because it can spew missiles at long range. And meanwhile, the Sacrilege of Lucian and the Absolution of Anarsis are both taking damage. We're both through shields now. Abso already dropping a little bit of armor. This is definitely a lot of damage it's taking.
So Vengeance and the Tormentor are scramming each other, so they're on top of each other. That Vengeance obviously wants to protect the Purifier at all costs, I think. It doesn't want the Crusader or the Tormentor to get on top of it because it will die in short order if it does. And that's probably the only ship that they have there that's going to win them the game. If it can just, if the frigates die, in theory it should never get caught by the Sacrilege and the Abaddon, and it can just fly around the arena applying a ton of DPS.
We're seeing a lot of damage being applied to Kellen Darklight's Tormentor. They're going to try to snipe him off. That's going to, if they can kill him, make the lives of their frigates a lot easier and potentially take another pair of tackle that could be used to pin down their Abso. The Abso is a lot faster than an Abaddon.
Purify instruction now, though.
Oh, there it goes. Purifier down. That's the work. That right there is the work of Maxine and the Crusader. Crusader is a brilliant ship for killing other frigates, and it did the job really well there. It looks like we're going to see Kellen's Tormentor drop down not long after, but of course that's a trade you're going to be happy to make, Purifier for Tormentor.
He's not dropping down that fast though, and the Omen Navy Shoot's already bleeding armor.
Yeah, these cruisers are taking damage. The Omen Navy Shoot, of course, we've seen Lysis use his piloting to get range, get repped up, come back in multiple times already in the earlier rounds and in this round. So I wouldn't really say this is too bad for the Omen Navy. The Sacrilege is a slower ship, and it's also dropping quite low. I think it may have a hard time reducing the damage. It can't really get too far away from that Abso. The Abso is probably just as fast as it.
Crusader, Vengeance now has caught Kellen Darklight's Tormentor, and they both traded scrams again. It looks like Kellen Darklight actually was able to burn away, get out of the fight, and then sort of come back in when he was a bit safer.
But now he's bleeding some structure. That Vengeance tackle is going to be a bit too much for him, I think. He does have rep drones on him. Again, very tanky setup. This setup is built, I think, around having those rep drones. Tormentor, of course, has the ability to fly 2 rep drones. That's probably one of the advantages of that ship over other Amarrian frigates.
Yeah. So that was pretty good piloting by the Vengeance there, because he was able to screen the Kellen Darklight. He was probably trying to get a scram on Lysis, as we know who's going to be in a sniper setup, and if he gets caught then he's dead. But if he doesn't get caught and the frigate support dies, he can probably kite out these Abaddon and the Sacrilege for the rest of the match.
Kellen is somehow still holding on. He's tackled by this Vengeance. He can't get away, but he is holding on really well. It looks like he actually has enough rep with those rep drones to be able to tank through the damage just from the Vengeance. And so there you go. The Omen Navy of Lysis had to come back and finish him off, and that's a Tormentor down.
The Sacrilege is pretty low despite it being really tanky. I think the Abaddon's probably running 5 rep bots.
But now, one of the reasons I think that Sacrilege might not be in as bad of a shape as it appears is that all of their rep drones were on that Tormentor instead. They're going to send what rep drones they have back on to the Sacrilege. They've got the rep drones from the Abaddon, so we'll see whether that can help keep him up. Of course, as I say that, he keeps dropping and there's no rep drones in sight yet.
Half of those rep drones were from the Sacrilege though, and he can't put rep drones on himself.
Yeah, that is going to be rough. He's going down into low armor. Of course, the Abso also dropping down. This is going to be really tight. The Abaddon, of course, with a ton of tank, but not very mobile. Yeah. These ships would be able to get under its guns, I think, quite effectively.
The Sacrilege is now tackled by the Vengeance, so the Vengeance is committing itself into range of the Sacrilege and the Abaddon. Sacrilege now bleeding into structure. He's not going to last for much longer here.
Yeah, we've got a set of rep drones on the Absolution now, too, to help keep it up. That Sacrilege is dropping down. Lucian is down! And we are now up 3-2.
Saying that though, Anarius in the Absolution is getting dangerously low. If the Abaddon finishes him off, I don't think what they have left can probably clear out the Abaddon. They might be able to kill the Crusader though.
Crusader, as we say that, Crusader taking a bunch of damage. He got a good solid hit against him. He is extremely fast though, so he's pulling some range. He's going to try to rep up. He's got the Vengeance chasing after him. He's getting, there you go.
Yeah, Lysis is chasing after him too.
They're going after that Crusader with a vengeance. They want it dead, and with good reason. Once they have the Crusader down, there's nothing left to tackle for the Abaddon. The Abaddon actually probably has a grappler. We've seen them use grapplers to great effect, but grappler only really good at close range. That Abso just dropping down. He's going through structure and gone.
He's gone.
Wow. Yeah. That is the Absolution down. At this point, we have a Abaddon and a Crusader versus a Vengeance and an Omen Navy issue. There goes the Crusader, one Abaddon versus two ships, but they're much smaller ships.
It's worth pointing out though, even though the Abaddon is a much stronger, more powerful ship, because they have two ships and they're worth the same points, if these ships can kite them out for the remaining time of the match, then they're still going to win.
Yes, it is important to note that unlike the Alliance tournament, there actually are special religious rules against being a coward in this tournament. You are allowed to kite out to rep, you're allowed to go to the extent of your range, take best advantage of your ship's abilities, but you must always be working towards the destruction of your opponents. If they just sit on the other end of the arena, they would be smoked, I think is the correct term, by the power of the Amarr Empire and the emissary of the Chamberlain. So they're going to need to engage this Abaddon. They don't need to get right up at zero with it, because obviously then they'd get wrecked, but they do need to be there fighting it. We see Lysis now sitting on a micro jump unit. We're going to see what he does with that. He may use it to try to get into a good position. The Vengeance pulling range. They've got quite a bit of distance, but they need to get in closer and start doing some damage, or else they may be in a bit of trouble. You have to do some damage to that Abaddon, guys. If you don't do that, then the Chamberlain's representative may destroy your ships.
Yeah, Lysis can safely engage this Abaddon with the range on the Omen Navy issue, but I don't think the Vengeance can. It's probably probably running rockets.
No. I think the Vengeance needs to at least kind of mix it up a little bit, maybe dive in and out. But yeah, the Omen Navy of Lysis is heading back into the fight. He does need to hurry though, get in there, get his lasers. He needs to get those lasers firing and show that he is honorably attempting to destroy his opponent. So we're seeing him approach now. Of course, he is a very skilled pilot with this. There you go, there's the lasers. He is now back in with Scorch, able to use the range. He's welcome to not get too close to it, but he's doing full damage essentially at this range, so this is fine. This is exactly what is expected of him as a champion. So we're going to see whether he can get this Abaddon down at all. I would not expect so. We've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Killing an Abaddon with these two ships would be very difficult. But then we're going to have to see whether the Abaddon can track him at all. I also think that's probably not likely.
Yeah. It does seem Lysis is taking some damage. He can, of course, pull out and rep his armor back up, which is what he did earlier in the match.
Yep, this is, I think, a very strong position for Lysis' team. They are... they need to get in there and get the damage applied here. Of course, unlike the Alliance tournament, the ruling on these kind of rules is completely subjective. It is entirely up to the emissary of the Chamberlain, which is our in-game explanation for the tournament referee, CSP Logibro, and he'll be making that evaluation to the best of his abilities, with the help of God, of course.
Yeah, there's 2 minutes left on the match now. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Abaddon's going to die. It's just Lysis and Hoodie Mafia are going to have to be as honorable as possible.
Yeah, so we're seeing right now Hoodie Mafia's gotten in there. What we're actually seeing is that Wasa is shooting the rep drones that are being used to repair Hoodie Mafia. That's a good strategy at this point because he can only deal a small amount of damage, but if he can take down these rep drones, it'll allow him to work through the Vengeance. We'll have to see how effective that's going to be. But now we have about 1 minute and 20 seconds left. If Lysa's team are able to take this match, then we'll go to 5, and they'll have to pull out another setup. I expect it would be their Sacrilege Guardian setup, not one of the Frigate setups, but will, of course, be up to them. All right, 1 minute remaining. We have the 1 minute remaining warning. And there we go. So the Vengeance still has 1 rep drone on him, I believe. This Abaddon, yeah, not in at this point any danger. Of course, it is entirely up to the emissary to determine honorable conduct. It is quite subjective, and I'm sure he'll do a great job.
The Abaddon is a bit too far from any of the micro jump drive units, unfortunately, as well. If you could try and maybe use that to surprise jump onto something.
Yep, so we've got the Vengeance is now charged in. We're going to try to get some missile damage. There we go, Vengeance getting his rockets on Hoodie Mafia. We're going to have to see how effective that's going to be and whether or not the Abaddon's able to get a significant amount of tackle. No, like 5 seconds remaining. And there you go, that is the match.
Are you not entertained? A long slug there to the 4th match, but it ends on time. Lysis getting the victory they need to push us to the 5th fight, the full 5 fights for this finale. Apotheny?
This is it, the 5th match. Everything rests on this final game. The next Emperor of Amarr.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's what I was hoping for.
There you go. There you go.
Sorry.
I think the biggest takeaway from this, though, is that cowards always lose, and occasionally cowards never win. So these guys, they weren't cowards. They won. It's good stuff. They took my advice from earlier, which is just to man mode all the time. So that's good. And they won. So now we're going to game 5. And the interesting thing, like, there's a really cool dynamic here because of the type of format, the conquest format. Team Kor-Azor has to now take a Sacrilege Guardian setup. And I don't remember the exact team, probably Suetonia knows this, that Tash-Murkon are going to have to choose from. But it's a really neat dynamic because that's freaking me out. It's a really neat dynamic because there's so many mind games, and I would really love to hear from the captains after this to see if perhaps the Tash-Murkon team decided to take this setup, hoping to bait the Kor-Azor team into losing that setup.
Now, we're not going to have time for discussion with the captains tonight. Immediately after the final match, we're going to go into an award ceremony where the Ascendant champion is granted a physical embodiment.
I'm a huge
of their
nerd,
victory.
though. I'm just going to go walk up to them and be like, hey, what's up?
But tomorrow, on stream, for those of you who aren't quite as privileged and forward as young Elise Randolph, you will be able to tune into the stream where we'll be having interviews with both team captains, Lysis and Caitlin Darklight. I think that's around 11:45. I could be completely wrong.
I mean, 11:45 sounds good. Like, it's a nice time.
So watch the entire stream, and if you're in Twitch chat, be
Whatever
sure to
time
pay
it
attention
was,
to any sort
it's
of...
11:45 now.
It's 11:45 now. It's 11:45 now.
No, it's... Never mind. Please continue.
I'm going to do what I do. Hey! So tomorrow on stream, we will have captains of both teams offering a little bit of chat, a little bit of backstory for how they prepared and how they felt it went, and where, if it indeed did go wrong, it went wrong. And of course, the winner will no doubt be resplendent in his pride and glory for his house.
Resplendent with pride and glory and magnets.
And magnates, and
Yes.
also resplendent with magnates.
Whoever wins, they're going to make it rain, I believe is the technical term.
Making it rain,
Yeah.
you say. It will be made to rain. Because someone will be made to rain. Get it?
Hey!
This guy.
See, I set him up, you knock him out. That's how it works.
That's how we do. Again, before we go to the next match, we're going to have a little bit of a mix-up here at the desk and the booth to see who says what. Fozzie, you want to come back up?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and not get caught on the chair again.
You do this every time.
CCP chair has an infamy, dude.
Like
I don't know what I
meat on
did.
the bone.
Whatever it was, I'm sorry.
Your bony is the problem. He's upset.
I'm sorry, what?
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's literally nothing.
Whoa! Mate! World star!
It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. We're mates. We're tight. You heard it. It's a mate. We're
We
good.
were mates.
Here.
We
No,
were
it's-
tight. We were the best of friends.
Fozzie, the match that we just saw, a little bit slow, kind of an ending that dragged on a little bit because of the time limit, and we heard you pressing or impressing upon the teams playing, and also reiterating for the group at home and the group here in the auditorium at Fanfest 2016 that this match is not quite as not quite as devoid of outside influence as the Alliance tournament.
Yeah, in the Alliance tournament, you're welcome to kite around if you wish. We have a point system that generally discourages that makes that less powerful. Here instead, you are implored to be honorable subjectively in the eyes of man and God. And you have to make sure that you're always working towards the destruction of the enemy fleet.
Now, I'm not sure if I recall correctly. I believe that I do. We never saw the Hand of Doom, as it were, descend in the
No, we did
first
not. We had to threaten it a few times. We did. The emissary did a couple times during the earlier rounds let a champion or retainer know that they were in danger of being smote, but we never actually had to use it.
Now, do you think, as a team player, as a member of one of these two fleets here, do you think if you're in a losing situation, I mean, maybe just for the glory of being truly heretical, you kind of try?
I don't know. If I was them, I'd try to go out in the blaze of glory as much as possible. Charge in, overheat your guns, load conflag, burn right to your doom.
Elise?
Oh no, I think you definitely have to man mode. You don't want to go to the edge of glory. There's nothing fun there. I can tell you firsthand. It's terrible. There's just like shame that lingers over you forever. Even if you do it as just a prank, you guys. It's never just a prank. So yeah, but going all in is definitely the move here.
So with both teams going all in, straight up brawl, do we see a lot of tactical gameplay? Do we see the same level of play that we've seen so far, or do we see something new?
I mean, we're going to see the same level of piloting. Amazing piloting on both sides.
And great decision making too.
But they're definitely working down through their setups. I think it's kind of obvious, looking at what Lysa's team has done, they kept bringing the ABSO team. They just kept bringing it.
Were you surprised by that, by the way?
Knowing what I know, no. But they obviously believed that setup was just stronger than what else they had to show. And so we're going to have to see what they can do with their next setup. Yeah. I think for both teams, they're now definitely further down in their list of best setups for sure.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the barrel for sure. So I think Team Kor-Azor has a all frigates trash comp. I believe that's the technical term for it.
We have
just going to call up the attendant to help the team here. There we go. Perfect.
So yeah, they've got an all frigate trash comp, and then a sacrilege guardian comp that's really interesting, but quite tanky and can actually have some promise. So
I'm a bit concerned about its damage, though.
Yeah.
Not a ton of damage. It's a sacrilege, guardian, omen, and then something else. And I can't remember what the last one is.
I was talking to some of the team captains earlier before, and Lysis himself was
Dragoon, I think. Yeah.
Oh, Dragoons are pretty nice ships, although really low damage, so not great. But I was talking to
damage amps on there. You drop a bunch of drones in the water.
Yeah, I mean, these guys do shoot drones, though, like most people.
They do? Yeah. What? That's a thing?
Dragoon does have a lot of spare drones, though. Kind of hard to clear it out. But yeah, it's not the heaviest damage of any team. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what it's able to kill. It will, I think, though, tank really well. I think you're absolutely right.
That is really good. And yeah, so I was talking to some of the team captains, and Lysis was saying, yeah, like when we're backs up against the wall, that's where my team shines. And you can see from the interviews, like that's where they actually did shine. Like it looked like they were going to lose a bunch of times. And I mean, that plays into it. Like the psyche of your team morale and stuff like that definitely plays into it.
Now, how rough is it sitting in that chair for, what 2 hours? With your hand on that mouse, it's getting warmer. The buttons are getting a little bit more slick.
Yeah, sometimes your palms get a little sweaty, as some people are known to say.
It's incredibly high pressure. I can say I've flown in the Alliance tournament. I have commentated, and commentating is much lower pressure.
Yeah.
Being out in front of all you guys, it can be kind of high pressure, but nowhere near what it's like to fly in these matches.
Yeah, I mean, I could screw up and say just random stuff and make people make camel noises, and no one will remember. But if I fly wrong, then everyone remembers.
They're gonna remember. They're gonna remember the camel noise.
There we go. That guy's got it.
There we go.
That was a little spooky.
So we've got the delay right now is that it appears there's some audio issues. The headphones on one machine have stopped working, so we're just going to get that fixed for you. So that's going to cause a slight delay. Both teams are out on the field though, so they're kind of staring each other down.
What sort of music do you think a Kor-Azor team would want to listen to like hype them up for it? Like, would it just be like chants, or would it be some like Kanye or what?
We've got calls of Taylor Swift.
So I really hope Tash-Murkon wins now. They are my team forever.
So we have this discussion all the time at work, and I think that the Amarr theme is like epic metal, like really like symphonic influence metal. And then Lebowski, for example, thinks no, it's just all like throat singing and like chanting and mind like faceless voices whispering horrible
you can
things.
hear a bit of the chanting in Amarian stations.
Yeah, but I mean, I can hear it and I imagine metal.
Yeah, okay. It's just metal from very far away.
Gold is a metal.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a thing. It's better.
So perhaps we'll find out in the Interior lore book that is coming out.
Yeah, the speakers, see exactly what kind of subwoofer that you've got on a Tormentor.
Man, it's going to be such a great book. I'm so stoked.
It's gonna. There's a lot coming out. Of course, we had CCP Falcon up here earlier telling you guys about some of this stuff, and I'm sure you've been keeping abreast of all of the announcements that have been made, both in the EVE keynote on Thursday and everything that happened today. We've got more news coming tomorrow. Not big news, just more sessions happening here at Fanfest. Yep. And if you tune into the stream at home, or if you're here in Reykjavik, attend those events. You will be getting a little bit more time to...
It'll be great. Lots of great presentations, roundtables. Definitely tune in for the closing ceremonies tomorrow. I've gotten a sneak peek of one of the things we're going to be showing you guys, unveiling, and it is bonkers. It is insane in all the best ways. We have some really talented people making some really cool stuff for your guys' entertainment, and you're going to love it.
Speaking of your guys' entertainment, later on tonight, following the Amarr Championships, the Upwell Consortium-sponsored EVE Pub Crawl will be happening here in Reykjavik, Iceland. A reminder to everyone attending FanFest to go and participate. I think are there sign-up sheets?
You can register for the teams, obviously the best team being 5-0.
That's a team? 5-0 is a team?
After a great suggestion from Twitter, we have officially changed the team name at the last minute of the 5-0 team to the War of Soberless Aggression.
That's something else. That's good.
I'm sure there are like fire emojis all over that one, because I would just tweet fire emojis.
Are you participating in the pub crawl tonight, at least?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, now that I know the names, I kind of have to.
Yeah, we've actually got all the names. There's World War Beer as well as another team.
Oh, okay. I'm going with that one.
So
I like that one better.
We have every name covered. Doesn't matter which what you prefer. just those two really, but those are the only ones.
That's it. Those are your options.
Yeah. No, but there's a lot of other great teams, a lot of other great action names too, but none of them related to wars. And really great pub crawl every year. I always love it.
And of course, tomorrow night, following the end of Fanfest, following the last presentations at Fanfest, will be the party at the top of the world.
Yes.
Which is always a good time. Again, anyone viewing at home, come to Fanfest. It's a wonderful time, and 800 screaming maniacs are about to tell you just how great it is. Are you guys having a good time? That's just how we do. Of course, the winners from the cosplay contest, you guys have tickets, so book your flights now. The rest of you, plan your outfits and sign up. It's going to be another doozy.
Yeah, I mean, every time we get to bring people out to these kind of events, it's amazing. The winners of the cosplay contest will be coming back next year. These two teams got flown out. The winner of the Valkyrie tournament is that team's going to be getting flown to Eve Vegas. It's hard to come up with a better prize than a trip to an event like Fanfest or Eve Vegas or Eve Down Under or Amsterdam, Eve Northeast. All these amazing events around the world. Really, really great stuff.
And it goes without saying that coming out to Fanfest here in Reykjavik gives you a number of options outside of the Harpa Auditorium. And I imagine that the president of Iceland will have something to say about it when he's in later. Iceland is beautiful. If you haven't been here, if you haven't been outside of this building yet this weekend, in addition to the pub crawl, tomorrow, following your recovery, you could go outside. It's really nice. Some of you may have been there.
Outside is kind of scary. That is true.
It can be.
Yeah.
Nothing though is quite as scary as Icelandic elevators, as Fanfest attendees learn every single year.
The elevators are actually terrifying. There's like no safety. Like if your jacket gets caught, you're probably just gonna die in an elevator alone.
Usually not alone. They're always packed with people.
It actually, the elevator where I'm staying is straight out of a horror movie. Like, if there was a zombie in the street, I would not go with the elevator because I know that guy's going to be the first one to die. I'm taking the stairs.
Speaking of horrific things to watch, you might not have to listen to us anymore. We believe we've resolved some of the technical difficulties on the floor.
Just quickly, guys, huge shout out to the ops team here at CCP. They set up a dedicated server here at Harpa to make sure that there's no danger of network connection problems. They're maintaining everything for us. They work wonders all the time. These are the same guys that have made TQ Tech 3 and do all of our amazing server work.
All right, we are going to start the match. We'll go down to a
wait, just a moment. We're actually got a request from those guys over there. Yeah.
We're going to pause for a moment.
Pause.
As we resolve an issue, and in that moment we will thank not just the captains of the teams that are here tonight, but the captains of the teams who failed to make it by being eliminated by the teams that did make it here tonight. Ithaca Hawk, Damascus Kadesh, Matara Noel, Soulless Zealot, unfortunately unable to succeed over... Are they here?
3 of them are, I believe, yeah.
That's
Damascus,
this is Hawk and Matara. Here, this is Matara. I can't, is it?
Yeah, it's Damascus and Matara there. Great job, guys. Of course, all of those house champions are getting silver magnates for their whole team. So,
it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way better than just losing before that and getting absolutely nothing but shame and sadness.
Woo! As long as we're here giving out thanks, the team running the tournament, not just on the ops side of getting these machines running, but the guys in the booth back there and the guys running the cameras, or the pilots and caps leaders running the cameras, I think all deserve a round of applause. They've been doing a great job, I think, giving us a bit of a look at what's going on. Let's kick it off. And of course, a big thanks to CCP Falcon. You killed the joke, man. That was good. That was good smarm.
Have we made predictions yet?
Have we?
I don't think we have.
I want to predict stuff.
Let's ask the audience for their prediction first.
Audience, at this point, you've seen 4 tremendous matches between the teams of Kor-Azor and House Tash-Murkon. They fly amazing. They fight amazing. They do great things. They're brilliant. They're beautiful. I would like... House Kor-Azor? House Tash-Murkon? My bad. I would like everyone cheering for House Kor-Azor to lift their voice to the sky. And now, those who support House Tash-Murkon.
Does nobody like a Cinderella story? Like, what's going on?
It's rough. It's rough. They don't like hoodies.
So rude.
Let's be a little bit more specific. You guys don't have to cheer. Just tell me.
I mean, could I cheer though if I wanted to?
You can whoop, please. Whoop away. Who are you after?
I'm actually just going to go with House Tash-Murkon. I know that Fozzie just backed away, assuming I'd whoop. I'm not going to whoop. It's okay. But I think House Tash-Murkon will probably do it. They've got more deeper setups. And they also have a PL pilot, and I don't have to be impartial, so.
That's.
And they also said they like Taylor Swift, so that's like a double whammy.
That's pretty good.
I kind of wish they won in 3 now.
They're happy for the support, no doubt.
Yeah.
Fozzie, you have to be a little impartial.
Oh, I'm very impartial. I think, honestly, that the team going to take this is Tash-Murkon. They've been incredibly strong. Kor-Azor's Cinderella story has also been incredible, but Tash-Murkon have just built, I think, a really good strategy around deep setups, and it's going to pay off.
I'm going to lure this out. I really like Aritzio. I think
he is actually really great.
That's a character that I want to see more of. That's not a character I want to see eviscerated. So I mean, tentatively on a lore side, I want to see something over here. I want to see Kor-Azor step it up. My people. It's my people. I love hoodies.
We need you. Okay. I will be back in a moment.
Oh yeah, get some space.
Well, this bodes well. So, Elise.
Can we just like pull up some World Star Hip Hop and just kind of go to town?
You could just kick it out one time?
Yeah. Maybe we'll watch some Vine compilations.
Let's not do that. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about some things that have been happening here at Fanfest over the weekend. Of course, the announcement of the CSM 11 was yesterday. And
I know, that was really incredible.
Perhaps of everyone that's up here on the stage, you're in a good place to comment on what happens.
Yeah.
The CSM composition includes several members from your corp. Or from your, from your alliance.
One from my corp, Bob Munn, and then the rest were just from my alliance. It's pretty cool for such a small alliance to have such a small impact. But the CSM members, like, I mean, it's okay. But yeah, I mean, there's a really diverse group of people in there, and I'm expecting quite a lot. I've been on the CSM before for CSM 6 and 7, so I'm really excited to see what these guys can do, and I know they've got the chops for it. Love you too.
All right, just to get everyone up to date with what's happening, we're getting all the pilots back on the field now. So the reason for the last delay there, the Tash-Murkon team, they had accidentally not switched one of their pilots into the correct ship before they got teleported. They alerted us to it after arriving on the field, and we've decided that because there is no advantage for them to be gained from it, and it was an obvious mistake. There's no reason that they wouldn't be able to get away with it. It's not like they could be cheating. We are not going to be penalizing them. They'll be coming back onto the field and in the correct ship for the setup, because they don't get to choose chips at this point. They're already chosen earlier, and we'll be getting back to the fighting.
Right on. That set to commence almost any moment now. Before the fight begins, though, we'll go down to the floor where Suetonia and Apothny will give us a little bit of information on what they've seen so far on the field and what they expect to see. And then we'll go straight into the match. Apothny, Suetonia.
Assembled nerds, are you ready for the final match of the Amarr Championship? That's not enough. I said, are you ready for the final match of the Amarr Championship? Yeah! Okay, for Team Kor-Azor to my right, we have Anariasis in a Guardian, Hoodie Mafia in a Sacrilege, Lysis in an Omen, and Sarek in a Dragoon. So Tony, tell us about the Tash-Murkon team.
So the Tash-Murkon team have an Apocalypse, they have a Curse, they have a Purifier, and they have one ship that's left to arrive on the field. So what's important about this composition, do you think, Epiphany? The Guardian team doesn't have much application outside of 30 kilometers, whereas Kellon Darklight's team with the APOC, with the Curse, with the Purifier, can apply a lot of pressure outside of range.
Yeah, I mean, the core thing here in the Kor-Azor team, as you're saying, is this Guardian-Sac combo. That is so much tank, so much EHP, they're just going to be slowly burning through the energy. Now, the Curse on the Tash-Murkon team, that represents a lot of new pressure on the Guardian, whether it's cap injected or whatever, it might run out of cap charges faster, so it's going to be very, very difficult under pressure. But does that mean, do they try and take out the Curse out quickly, or do they just try and burn through and finish the massacre as quickly as possible? Because it's a slow team, you might say.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of difficulty, I think, catching high priority targets. Like the fastest ship they have in here is a Destroyer Dragoon, whereas they have a Kellon Darklight's in an Executioner, which can scram and protect his more valuable ships.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you think of the Dragoon's effectiveness here?
So the Dragoon has a bonus to newt range and to newt range mostly and to drones. So it can apply DPS out to 60 kilometers, but the newts only go to 12 kilometers. So once again, it's going to have a hard time applying that newt pressure, I think, to this much faster, much more kiting team.
Yeah, now the Sacrilege obviously going to be missile fit. The Curse has that bonus to TDs. Do you think the Tash-Murkon team thought to fit the missile tracking disruptors? They might be at a massive disadvantage if they accidentally had the turret versions.
Yeah, but they know that they had to pick this setup unless they brought the frigate compositions, which would not do very well here. I mean, Mr. Hyde might be very happy to see 4 frigates die in quick succession.
That's true. But our new permanent CSM rep, Mr. Hyde. Okay, so it looks like we're just having team leader for Tash-Murkon. He's just being repositioned. There was a little problem with the warp in, but we're going to get that resolved as quickly as possible, and then we're going to get this match started. So, Tony, the Apocalypse is a wonderful spaceship. It's got that bonus to tracking in optimal range.
Yes.
Those of you who read Crossing Zebras will know that I did an article recently on Amarr battleships. You should go read it if you've not already. And here we go, with Kellon Darklight landing back on the field. We are finally ready to get started in the final match of the Amarr Championship. Lysis declaring they are fighting for the love and affection of CCP Mimic. I don't know any story behind that, but good luck, guys. Okay. Oh, apparently we've just been told that we need to keep talking about things before the match starts. Suetonia, please tell me before I get into more trouble.
Okay, so how useful do you think the Executioner is in this team? Obviously, it can't get too close or it's going to die very quickly, but what it can do is it can protect one of the slower ships on its team and, trade places and sacrifice itself.
It's possible that the Omen is just going to charge after the Purifier, take that off the field, and the Executioner would do a great job at screening it. It won't survive very long, but the act of buying time, keeping DPS ships out of position, is so important in the arena format.
Yeah, and this is definitely a setup where the time isn't quite on the Kor-Azor team's side with that curse that's going to be slowly taking away the cap and the cap charges potentially of their Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think you go with reps on this Guardian? Just go 5 straight mediums, try to fit larges in? Like, how do you manage the cap you saw on a Guardian in a tournament setting?
I think you need to mix it up a bit. Obviously, there's different trade-offs that you can make. You can fit more tank if you go for less reps in the highs, or alternative, if you fit less tank, you can get more remote rep power. I think in this composition, they can probably protect the Guardian because they have the Dragoon and the Sacrilege, which can sort of ball up with it, and not many ships can really engage a Sacrilege under full Guardian reps.
Yeah. Now, what do you think the core target of the Purifier for the Tash-Murkon team here is? You recently released an article about missiles, and the torps really just aren't going to apply very well to this cruiser and down comp. Where do you think you apply those EM bonus missiles?
So they're still going to do decent enough damage. The stealth bombers actually have a bonus to torpedo explosion velocity, so they're not quite as bad as regular torpedoes. There might also be some kind of I don't think there will be, but there could be target painters potentially. And they do have Kelon Darklight,
We have a small
who can scram and web something and slow something down.
So the one ship is
Yeah.
This one, the executioner is going to show up on fancy wrong.
Okay. Small announcement. Okay, guys. So, Kelon Darklight, the leader of the Tash-Murkon team, on the screen is not going to be on the ship that he's actually in on the UI. He is flying an executioner. I can see on my screen, I promise. But apparently the UI is... We fixed it. And they fixed it. Thanks. Did I just get trolled by CCP? Did that just... Thanks, guys. Thanks. Does that mean we can start?
30 seconds until the match starts in local.
30 seconds! Yes! Okay, we're here. For real this time, right? You're not doing this to me again. If you do this to me again... Really? Okay.
One more technical problem with one of the machines.
I'd just like to shout out to r/livestream fails right now.
We love you guys. Please be nice. We know you won't, but please.
Just another glorious day.
I didn't hear what that was, but I'm not sure I want to.
It's probably best.
Okay. So, match content aborted, maybe not. Like, can we get a confirmation as to whether we're going or not? Or maybe?
Soon TM.
Yeah. CCP soon TM.
We've waited a couple of months for this. We've waited.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Suetonia, what are you looking forward to in the Citadel expansion?
30 seconds until the match starts.
Yes! Okay. Oh, I need the pub crawl after this. I'm not gonna lie. 10, 9, 8, no, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The final match begins! Okay, we have in the center of the arena the APOC, I believe, yeah, the APOC of Lucian sat there. The rest of the team is way far back. Drones have been dropped. Looks like we have Kelon's Executioner burning straight in to the action.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Kelon's going right in. Personally, I would fly this as more of a kiting setup rather than going in, because the APOC has a range advantage. The Sacrilege is most likely going to have hams. It can't do anything outside of 30 kilometers.
Yeah, it looks like the Sacrilege is the core damage prime of the APOC, but the Dragoon of the Kor-Azor team taking a lot of damage. Kor-Azor team have gone straight onto the Tash-Murkon on APOC, trying to get DPS off the field as quick as possible, but now they're just dancing, getting into range, finding what they actually want to shoot, and just trying not to be tackled and caught down by the other side.
Yeah, Epiphany, do you think they can break this Dragoon under Guardian reps? Now, the Dragoon doesn't typically have a high amount of resistances and tank, but it is getting ripped by a Guardian.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a Destroyer SIG versus those APOC guns, and the Purifier as well. Whoa, damage going all across, shields dropping, but now the Purifier actually
dropping really low,
Purifier
50% armor.
And Kelon going down quite quickly here. They need to catch this up. They need to get a kill before they lose those ships, or they will not have the DPS to break the Guardian in the end.
They are burning away, but it looks like YC118 slowly dying to drones. That Dragoon does have pretty decent drones.
Yeah, it looks like the TDs are going on the Omen, which would imply that they are in fact tracking the turret TDs rather than the missile TDs. Dragoon going down, of Sarek going low, boosting back up. That was a dangerous volley coming in there. Another one going down. Oh, Sarek's got to be so careful. That incendiary only has so many charges.
We're seeing some damage onto the Omen now here. It looks like they can maybe break the Dragoon eventually, although he has pulled everything back
Guardian
now,
pilot.
saying that YC118 and the Purifier dropping dangerously low, and there's no logistics on that side.
Yeah, no logistics there. Guardian holding everyone up fine, but was in the Purifier taking so much damage. He's trying to do his best to burn out, but he is surrounded by a blob of infiltrator ones. Okay, so Purifier continuing to go down, bleeding through his armor tank, barely wrapping, but he's not going to last for long. The Omen of Lysis now actually just there we go, being wrapped up, being caught by that Guardian.
Kellon Darklight here is joining his friend in the Purifier, starting to clear off some of those drones that are chasing him, it seems.
Yeah, Wassa just barely surviving there. Kellon taking some of that damage himself. We've got Maxine taking a few hits in the curse there. That is such a core to their team, having the newts on the Guardian. Looking screen behind me, they're being applied at the moment, but obviously with full off with newt, we can't really see how effective they're being. But looks like that Purifier of Wassa going down low again.
Oh, he's just on the edge of structure now.
Does he bleed in the structure? Yes, he does, going down 2/3 structure. Down to a half, repping back up, down to 1/3. Purifier of Wassa in a lot of trouble here. Going down quarter of his structure, repping as best he can. The last little bit of structure, barely hanging on. Wassa, such piloting, such control, but it's not going to be enough. He's going down, bleeding as best he can. I cannot hold this pitch for long enough. Kor-Azor, if you could just kind of get on. Yes! There we go! Purifier down! Okay, while that was happening, the Guardian and the Sacrilege taking a lot of damage here. We don't know the strength of the Guardian local tank. It may have been capped out by the curse already, which is why no reps are being applied.
Kellon Darklight going down shortly here, but so is Hoodie Mafia in the Sacrilege. Yeah. The APOC is actually on top of him. It might have a grappler. It's going to apply full conflagration DPS.
Yeah, the Sac is webbed by a grappler or a standard webs going down to the bottom of its armor here. Kellon managing to pull out of damage range, but Analysis in the Guardian as well, so low. And these are the two core ships of the Kor-Azor team. Yeah. If they can take this down before they lose the curse or the APOC, they come straight back into this game. Kellon taking out, getting a lot of damage.
So that Sacrilege doesn't seem to be getting reps. Maybe the curse is slowly starting to work down the Guardian. One of the things that the frigates did a good job of is wasting a lot of time. What we mentioned at the start was that Lysis's team eventually are going to run out of cap charges and capacitor to the curse newts, which are going to become an increasingly big problem as the match goes on.
Both the Guardian, the Sacrilege, the Guardian going into structure. This is the Logi ship. Everyone who watches the 18 knows it's going into structure. No real damage on the Tash-Murkon team, but the Kor-Azor Guardian is going down. Half structure, a third structure. The Guardian's going and it's gone! Kellon Darklight team bring back the equalizer, but Kellon the Executioner suddenly in a lot of trouble.
Kellon Darklight probably going to go down here, but then it's a Sacrilege, Omen, and Dragoon versus Curse and Apocalypse.
I mean, how is the APOC fit? Is it active rep pit? Does it have that massive buffer they need to revert to? Kellon goes down, team captain gone. Trading blow for blow here in the final match. Neither team willing to give the slightest edge to the other. Every time a ship goes down, they immediately take another one down. We're at the 5 minutes remaining mark. We've just passed. Sacrilege Hoodie Mafia suddenly drops! It is Apocalypse Curse versus Omen Dragoon. They've got so much work to do on that APOC.
Yeah, I don't think they can win this. The Curse can outrange both the Omen and Dragoon. It can shut down the DPS of the Dragoon for both newts and potentially tracking disruptors.
Yeah, and you know, as with ECM, having to spread your newts across fewer targets is so much more painful. We see the Dragoon going down now, Omen taking damage as well. The APOC is still in full armor. Dragoon of Sarek taking damage. Lysis's Omen also going down. This isn't his invincible Omen Navy, this is just a regular Omen.
Yeah, he has swung a match right back by himself in a Zealot before, but an Omen is a much weaker ship, and he's up against two ships that are very dangerous.
Sarek in the Dragoon falling down all the way through his weapon, and he goes down! Omen bleeding into structure. This is the last ship. Tash-Murkon may about to have a new Emperor, and the winners are Tash-Murkon! Tash-Murkon is victor.
Huge congratulations to the Tash-Murkon champions. Really, really amazing work to both sides. But we now have a newly chosen Empress of the Amarr Empire, Khadis Tash-Murkon.
We certainly do. Khadis Tash-Murkon moving up into the throne with an inauguration, if we're to follow the words of CCP Falcon, soon to follow.
I'm looking forward to it.
And if we could have both teams get up for a second and move back to their marks.
Amazing piloting from both sides.
Yeah, indeed.
Spectacular.
This is an amazing series.
Falcon, are you prepared?
All right, CCP Falcon and CCP Logibro are here to hand out the physical medals to each side.
Lysis's team here receiving the silver medals to signify their participation. But of course, something with a little bit more luster must be delivered to those who have victored on the day. And so the gold medals now go to Kellen Darklight and Team Tash-Murkon.
Oh, yeah. And of course, we will be delivering gold and silver magnates, gold magnates to the Tash-Murkon champions, silver to the rest of the house champions after the upcoming patch, and I'm sure they will enjoy those prizes. They're truly great chips.
Indeed. Any last comments before we walk away? Apotny, Setonia, Elise?
I mean, I thought the curse piloting for that one match, the last match we just saw, was actually incredible and probably took the match for them. But otherwise, incredible match for everyone, including all the people who participated in the Succession Trials.
Setonia?
Yeah, I really like Kellon's piloting in that match, and the Executioner coming to help the Purifier by clearing off those drones kept him alive long enough for that curse to start doing its work.
Apotny.
That match was an emotional roller coaster. Ships being traded back and forth. You know, the end result really not predictable until the last, even the last 30 seconds, the last minute. Like, it was such an amazing match to end the day on. Well worth the wait.
An amazing match, an amazing tournament, and amazing performances from our pilots and from our player commentators, and of course, an amazing crowd. Everyone, a round of applause for the entire Amarr Championships. Thank you very much. And that will wrap up this day of Fanfest 2016. I am CCP Antiquarian at CCP_Antiquarian. And we will see you tomorrow on stream and here at the Harpa in Reykjavik, Iceland for the continuation and conclusion of EVE Fanfest 2016. On behalf of the entire staff here at CCP, thank you.